Optimal tea time. You know, this actually might be, Inks, the first tea time where nobody complains about the lineup, you know? Yeah.
Somebody will complain.
Yeah, somebody. You think somebody's going to complain? I don't know, though. So, here we go. Yeah, it's intimate, one-on-one, okay? You know, candlelit tea time is what we got here. Teapot on tea time dance game, exactly. Now, of course, this is the tea time where we've had some news recently, but, you know, then it's gone, right? Then now we have nothing again. And actually, the first thing I want to talk about is the new raid, because unfortunately we didn't have Inks to talk about the raid, because Inks actually has hot takes, guys. Now Nike wanted to debate you actually about this because of how hot your take was. So you know, just to start things off here, why don't you just go ahead and tell us what is your hot raid take?
So I watched last week's Tea Time where Nike was sort of paraphrasing whatever, and I understand what he's saying there, and that's Leo. My thing was, as a viewer, not so much as a raider or a player, but as a viewer, I showed up maybe like an hour into your stream, and you had the last boss at like 7%, and I was like, you know, I was like, that's it, we're done. Game over. And it really was like you guys had killed it. And you then went and did CMs, which is cool, but you're watching the same bosses again with a couple of more mechanics, you know? So my audio's desynced again. Yeah, that's
just Discord. It's just Discord. Yeah, there's not much we can do about it. Yeah. So
that was disappointing for me. Now, I didn't play the raid, and I understand the fights are really fun, but it's always this standard 3 bosses, maybe a couple encounters or something, and then that's it. And my problem is we wait 8 or 9 months for this content. The fights themselves are good, but there's only 3 of them. They don't ever push themselves to 5 fights or 4, or you know what I mean? Like, it's always just a standard 3. ArenaNet seems to be happy with just putting out 3. And I feel like if you're waiting 8 to 9 months, 3 is just disappointing from a viewer perspective, at the very least, for me.
Yeah, especially if it's a little easy, right? I think from a viewer perspective, if you're watching people beat something and it's really easy and they just steamroll it, that's not as exciting as watching people actually kind of battle with it and struggle with it, right? And have a bit of a challenge.
Exactly. Like, you're there. The excitement from raiding, even as a player, is wiping on a boss until you figure its mechanics out, and then you get that victory, you get that triumph that feels good, you know? And when it's easy like it was, and don't get me wrong, I understand for some people, like for Teapot's group, it was fairly easy, or it is easy. For other groups, maybe it's not as easy as we might be making it out to seem, but it was easier overall. And in some ways, I sympathize and I understand where ArenaNet's going. They want it to be more accessible. It's easier for them to just descale it like this rather than make an easy mode or a story mode, I guess. But at the same time, as a viewer, it's disappointing to just watch you guys steamroll through it and be done literally in 2 or 3 hours. And then we're waiting 8 or 9 months for new like new raid bosses and so forth. And while I'm confident we'll see a new raid, and not everybody is, because ArenaNet can't even say, yes, we're still working on raids. You know what I mean? And so I think that adds to the disappointment a bit.
Yeah, certainly the not knowing is, in a way, well, I've always felt this way about all the recent content. Like after episode 6, I was a bit alarmed that we didn't see anything. Right, there was no teaser. It was the end. Right, after season after season 4. Right, it was very much that's it. Right, there was no teaser about what's going to happen if there's an expansion, if there's elite specializations, and it's the same with the raid. Right, you know, the story is over for this raid, and I'm sure you probably heard about this, Inks. There was an item that dropped from the CM, Kadim 2 CM. The portable gating crystal exchange, right? And that is like it's a vendor that allows you to buy any item from those raids wherever you are in the world. Right? It's a utility item, like a bonus meme reward. Now, we got one of those for magnetite shards after the last raid of Heart of Thorns, right? Bastion of the Penitent. So the theory is that this is the last Path of Fire raid with this raid currency because of this exchange, this thingy, right? So that's quite worrying, actually, for the future of raids. It kind of means like, oh, how long are we going to be waiting here, right? It's quite, oh, that's a little bit scary. But no, I think you're absolutely right. And there's one thing you're talking about there about the accessibility thing. Like, if accessibility is their goal, then ultimately, I think they have categorically failed, right? Some of these bosses are very easy if you're good at the game, right? But they're still really hard if you're not good at the game, if that makes sense. I know that sounds a little bit obvious, but what I mean is there's like a diminishing returns on the difficulty, if that makes sense. The better you are at the game, the easier. It's not linear, is what I'm saying here, right? Like, if I'm twice as good as someone, right, these bosses are not just twice as easy, they're a lot, like 10 times easier, right? If you have players who understand the basics of Guild Wars 2, these raids are, it doesn't, it's not, the challenge is not linear, right? Like, if you have people who are kind of decent, these bosses aren't just challenging, they're completely trivial. Like, just being vaguely competent utterly trivializes these bosses, but in a way that's not accessibility, because a lot of the players who still struggle with raids or have never tried raids before will still brutally struggle with these raids. And in fact, one of the bosses that the hardcore players find the easiest, which is actually Kadim and the air boss, Sabir, those are probably the hardest bosses for casual players, right? It's because difficulty is relative, and there are different types of difficulty. Now, being good at Guild Wars 2, it means you know your rotation, you have an understanding of how bosses work, so DPS, okay, bursting, having boon uptime, having a decent composition. If you have those things, right, it doesn't just make the bosses easy, it trivializes them, okay? The mechanics of these bosses are not punishing at all to a skilled player, right? Okay, but they are brutal to an unskilled player, right? So in other words, the accessibility, in my opinion, has failed. Actually, it's not accessible, really. Nico, this is him with the SC lads. If you look at this kill here, I'd thoroughly recommend it. I'm pretty certain what is actually going to go down here, to be honest. They are probably going to phase this boss so fast with their DPS output here that I think the boss simply won't have time to do any of its mechanics, actually. And we just go ahead and watch this. I'll just go ahead and watch it right now. On this boss, this Earth boss that's being shown in this video, guys, she summons up pillars, right? And then you have to hide behind the pillars. But you'll notice that SC are phasing it so fast that this mechanic is totally irrelevant, right? So it's not just... Yeah, it's completely irrelevant. They burst it so fast, the mechanic doesn't ever happen, right? So what I'm saying is the difficulty scales very hard with not being good, right? If you're really, really good, okay, you obliterate it, right? You just completely destroy the encounters. And that is, in my opinion, one of the problems with this raid wing. If you're going for accessibility, that's why you do need that story mode. ArenaNet, please listen to me. If you want to make accessible raids, this approach will not work, okay? This is not going to cut it. You might get more people through the door for this raid wing, okay, but not on the level that they're probably looking for. Like, ArenaNet realistically are looking for quite high participation in their content, right? They probably want, let's say, 25%, 50% of people doing this, okay? You won't get it like this. The Guild Wars 2 community is very casual, nothing wrong with that, and this is too much, right? Even Wing 6 is too much, but the thing is, with this middle ground, you're making nobody happy. Okay? Because the raiders aren't happy because it's way too easy. The people on Twitch kind of lose the hype, right? Because it's easy, right? And all the streamers just like stomp it, right? And you don't make the casuals happy either because they still can't do it, right? So no one's happy. Now, go ahead. Go ahead.
It felt like a boxing match or an MMA fight that is hyped up for months, and then they go out to fight and somebody throws one punch and the fight's over. Like that's as a viewer, that's what it felt like. You guys just rolled through it. And I watched a couple of different streams. you, DeRoyer, Sam Majesty, Roca, you like, and I realize that you guys are sort of at the upper tier, the upper end of rating. You're very experienced, you know the game, but all of yous were just rolling through the content like nothing, and as a viewer, you want to see a little bit of that struggle and figuring the fight out and so forth. And I don't know, it just didn't feel like it was there, and that's when I was tweeting about how disappointing that was. That combined with the fact that we wait 8 to 9 months for a raid is what made it feel like it's over. You know what I mean? Like, even though I haven't cleared it, it feels like the content's over. I'm instantly disinterested now. And I know there's people like you, Teapot, who will repeat this instance and content 500 billion times. I'm not really one of those people. I'll clear it one time. Maybe I'll do the achievements or whatever. But farming it gets very boring very quickly for me. And that's another reason I haven't actually raided in a while. It just gets, waiting so long for a new raid and then having it on farm on like day 2 is just, I don't know, takes the wind out of your sails.
Yeah, it does. And this is not to say that this raid isn't good. As usual, it's actually very well designed. And the encounters are a lot of fun, right? They really are a lot of fun. But what I do find really frustrating is that you don't need to understand them to actually beat them, right? And I'm not saying that this is not me flaming other players. In a way, this is kind of flaming myself here. Even when we beat the challenge modes, Inks, we beat hard mode. We had a very poor understanding of how Kadim worked in particular, actually, because Kadim is a bit of a weird boss. He's got a lot of slightly odd mechanics to him. Kadim 2, that is, of course. Kadim the Peerless. But we didn't really understand what the bloody hell was going on a lot of his encounters. We just kind of cheesed it. And cheesed it to victory without really knowing how it worked, and I just don't think that's good. The opposite was true. I mean, I bring up the example of Wing 5. If you beat Doom CM, you've got a pretty good idea of how Doom works. Okay, if you don't know how to do Doom normal mode, Doom CM will be very difficult for you. Right? That's not the case. Right? Without this. Oh, yeah. We figured out the Kadim sub 20% thing, by the way, Elaine. Actually, we actually do know how to do that now. Someone posted exactly what happens, and then it's pretty obvious after that. You just have to do a weird tanking situation there. But anyway, Wing, for this reason, Wing 7 is a bit, it's not quite there, it feels pretty bad, unfortunately, and I think a lot of guilds came back to the game, were really excited for the raid, right? And then they left again because they were disappointed, right? By how easy the content
It's like a living
was.
story episode, right? It's like, I played the story. I'll see you guys again in 3 months. Yeah. I don't know. And somebody makes a good point. And we've talked about this before too. In World of Warcraft, you need to get particular gear. So raids, especially the mythic raids, take more time because you need to gear up and you need to get some of that raid gear and actually, in order to hit certain DPS checks and DPS marks. And Guild Wars 2 doesn't have that. So there's always going to be this, when a new raid releases, you've got the best gear, you've got the best possible setup, most likely. And that does take away a little bit of, I guess, the artificial difficulty that is being placed there. But I would also say that the bosses in Guild Wars 2 don't require, like, they're so soft that they don't require you to run, ultra mega precise whatever gear. Like, you don't have to do the top end DPS. You can go in there and make many, 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 many mistakes and still kill the boss. like it's very soft.
Yeah.
And I understand why ArenaNet sort of designed it that way, but I think it also is a detriment when you're doing things on the CM level or something like that,
Yeah, absolutely. And the chat is pointing this out, and they're absolutely right as well, that it's soft not only in the DPS chunks, as you're saying, but it's also soft in how mechanically punishing it is. Like, a lot of mechanics, you simply ignore them. And even worse, if you do enough damage, you can just completely skip them, right? So it's true that you're never gonna make it as difficult as something like Mythic WoW progression, because you don't go into Guild Wars 2 raids under-geared, but it's almost like you go into Guild Wars 2 raids. The analogy I would draw to World of Warcraft is, imagine going into a raid with the armor, the equipment from 2 raids down the line, right? You go into these raids insanely overgeared, right? Like, ridiculously overgeared, to the point where you can just stomp these things. Now, this was true. This wasn't really true for stuff like Wing 5, like Doom. Then this is what you can have a progression that takes a while. Like Doom was actually a really difficult and punishing encounter, and it took a while to take down, right? It took a while to bring down Doom. So they can do it, they just don't really want to. ArenaNet has stated that they don't want a raid wing any harder than Wing 5, and then particularly Doom is going to be the hardest boss in the game. Which is sad to me, because I think it's very likely that we see a lot of Wing 6 going onwards, going Wing 6 and Wing 7 kind of difficulty going forwards. Although I would actually say that Wing 7 is easier than Wing 6, unfortunately. So maybe even Wing 7 difficulty. But if every raid in Guild Wars 2 effectively ended up like Wing 4 or Wing 7 difficulty, I think that would be a real crying shame. Actually, genuinely a real shame. Because then you've just got a glorified Fractal, really, with 10 people in it, which is very, very disappointing, unfortunately.
And for me, I feel like the answer is going and creating, and I know we're already waiting 8 to 9 months, so maybe this is why ArenaNet doesn't want to do it, but I really think that they need to have the different difficulty scales. Instead of being afraid to make Doom the hardest boss in the game and saying we can't go beyond this, or we don't want to go beyond this, make a story mode. Maybe wait a week to release story mode so that people can feel like they're progressing through difficult bosses and difficult content or something. I don't think you'd have that many complaints if you held story mode, which easy mode, whatever you want to call it, if you held that for a week, had normal mode be fairly difficult and CMs be Doom level difficulty. And then I really think, again, the raids to me feel just like Living World. They're very cookie cutter. You get 3 bosses, you get an encounter or 2. They've made some strides in the last 2 raids to make the boss arenas a little bit different. They're not just a circle necessarily, but yeah, I don't know. I think they need to. They're afraid of like hitting this difficulty level because people just won't do it. And I wish they would really push the boundaries on that and allow people to do a story mode version or an easier version with less rewards if they just want to feel like they completed some of it.
Yeah.
I don't see why ArenaNet, and this is not new, but I don't understand exactly why they're afraid. Or let me rephrase that. I don't know why it seems they're afraid to make super difficult content that not everybody is going to complete. I feel like the Doom fight is a pretty good fight, but that's where I want the middle to be, not the end. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and to me on this level, it's a little disappointing when we get a new raid wing that I'm very excited to watch, and it's just over. It's over in like an hour and a half. You know what I mean? It's just, it doesn't feel good.
Well, and there's a lot of things that go into that as well. Because in a way, like I said earlier, like if they think they're making something that's accessible now, then they're not right. They're kind of wrong. Because even really easy raid wings don't actually get completed a lot. I mean, it's true that the easy ones do. Like this blows my mind actually. Okay, because I'll bring this in now. So we've got some statistics that got posted on the subreddit from Guild Wars 2 Efficiency, okay, of the completion rate of some of these bosses. And they are really surprising, actually, how many people have beaten this stuff. For example, only 13% of people on Efficiency have beaten Zera. That is crazy to me. In my opinion, Zera is one of the easier bosses. Actually, is not particularly that difficult. Like, I have experienced some fun pugs. Okay, where some of the pugs do struggle a lot with Zera for some reason, but I wouldn't. It wouldn't. It's very odd. That's the case, and I can understand why they wouldn't want to do another Wing 5, because if you look at the participation for Wing 5, like, there's not even a single boss or encounter in Wing 5 that over 10% of people on efficiency have beaten, right? It's like 9.8% is the highest for River of Souls, right? So yeah, there's the post there if you guys want to have a look at that.
At it now.
And yeah, you do see a downtrend with time, and now that is true. Now, well, okay, we'll get into that a bit later. We can talk about like the deterioration of the raid scene later. It's not relevant as it stands right now, but if ArenaNet thinks they're making stuff that's accessible now, then I don't know, it's not exactly correct. It's true that if you make Wing 4 and make bosses that are kind of completely trivial, then yeah, you're going to get people through the door, but then nobody's
happy. This chart tells me?
What does it tell you?
I keep cutting you off. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. That's fine.
This chart tells me that after Wing 4, people just quit the game. They quit raids. They gave up. Because going from Soulless Horror on, the numbers just steadily drop. Whereas the other wings, yes, there is a progressive drop as you get to the more difficult bosses or the later bosses. But like Karn, however you say his name, is a fairly Overseer, an easy boss, you know? And so his engagement and kill time is much higher than, say, Keep Construct, for example, which I would not say is a difficult boss, but, you know, it's killed a lot less than Mersat Overseer. But just looking at this completion rate, people got tired of waiting, and it looks like they gave up when Doom's Wing came into play, or by the time Doom's Wing came into play.
There are a hell of a lot of factors that go into this. This is a really complicated issue, and people stopped playing for multiple reasons. 1, no legendary armor after Wing 4, okay? 2, massive gap from Wing 4 to Wing 5, so the raid scene just dissolved as well over that time. Okay, 3, Wing 4 was a massive disappointment to a lot of more hardcore and more serious raiders because of how easy it was. Okay, so there's a lot of things that go into that there, and all of those probably contributed to the decline of the raid scene over time. And to be frank, these statistics, it calls it slightly anecdotal, but this lines up completely, in my opinion, with the way that a raid would revitalize the scene, right? Okay, so if you look at this, right, you have Wing 1, big spike in play, right? Then when you have Wing 2, again, big spike. It spikes back up again, right? As people start to, participate and play the raids and beat the raids again. The same for Wing 3, but then it happens again with Wing 4, right? You know, the bam, big spike of people playing the raid. But then after Wing 5, it doesn't really bring the scene back, right? It doesn't actually, it doesn't actually bring the raid scene back, right? It doesn't revitalize it. And Wing 6, even less so, right? And it's horrible, actually. I'm genuinely so sad that Wing 6 has so little participation. If we look at these numbers here, Conjure Amalgamate 8.5%, Largos 6.2%, and Kadim 5.1%, and that is horrific. In my opinion, Wing 6 is actually the best raid wing, right? Wings is actually the best raid wing, and as a result of that, it's so sad that people don't participate.
Let's see. Link and Naru also bring up the fact, and this is true, and I didn't think about this right away. They bring up the fact that there's nothing to play for in the newer wings since when Doom. What wing is Doom?
6, Wing 5.
5. So from wings 1 to 4, you work on legendary armor. And so people are doing the easy bosses in wings 1 to 4 to work on legendary armor. And when it comes to Wing 5 plus, there's nothing to work on. I mean, there's the ring now, right? But there's nothing really to work on as far as legendary armor. So I still think, though, and that's very true, what you guys are saying, and I didn't think about that. But I also think that, like we were saying before, I think that there was such a wait time in between there that people just kind of got fed up with it, got bored. They got their legendary armor, and then that was it. They're like, why raid anymore? I don't need to.
Yeah. these really big gaps between the raid releases really hurt. Okay, believe me. So Wing 5 came out in November, I want to say. I believe I'm correct in saying that. Please, chat, correct me if I'm wrong there. And then, do you know how long it took for Wing 6 to come out, Inks? It came out in September. Okay? Ouch. And then, again, from Wing 6 to Wing 7, we have this 9-month gap again. So it's been about 9-10 months between these raid wings. And, wow, guys, when you've got 3 bosses to last you for 9 months, ow. Okay? That's gonna sting, right? Your community will die. And, guys, I really don't like to be too negative about this thing, but believe me, the raid scene is dead. Okay, it really is. And, well, do you know how... And Wing 7 really didn't help with this, because people got their kills, they got their achievements, and they left. Okay, that's the trouble here. Because it was so easy, people had it on farm literally days after its release, unfortunately. And now, there's just no excitement about it. There's no excitement about the content anymore, because it's so easy. Right, it's just too easy, so no one's hyped about it anymore, unfortunately.
And to be fair, like, I kind of feel bad that this is what we talk about like every week almost, but it feels like besides the 271 people in chat right now, it feels like nobody is listening. You know what I mean? I feel like the criticisms that we often bring to the table on Tea Time every week are generally shared amongst at least this community, at least this part of the community, and it feels like it falls on deaf ears. Because we have raid release after raid release and nothing really changes. And, you know, I don't want to say that they don't care. I just think that they're happy with the cookie cutter raid release, 3 bosses. It's going to take us 8 to 9 months, whatever. And we're just going to release it like that. And, you know, eventually maybe down the line it'll get cut. I don't know. But it just seems like they're just happy with that mediocrity.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to call it that, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a real shame, right? Because I feel the same way. Whenever a new wing comes out, new raid, new content, whenever anything in Guild Wars 2 ever comes out, I always feel the same way. It's just, I look at it, I go, wow, this is amazing. Look at the design on this. Look at the design on the Earth boss, right? It's absolutely fantastic. I love how Adina is designed. Honestly, the design on every single boss in Wing 7 is fantastic, okay? Kadim is a little bit, he's a bit unfinished. I could do with a little bit more to it. Ooh. But, you know, hey, they ran out of time after just 9 months, guys. Okay, come on, they're on a tight schedule here. So, but it's so well designed, and just to see it, like, be this lukewarm, nothing, yeah, it's lukewarm mediocrity, right? And it sucks that it goes that way, because it doesn't have to be that way. You know, it really doesn't need to happen. Guild Wars 2 is a fantastic game and has so much potential, but it never really lives up to it, right? It just doesn't happen, unfortunately. And you know, some guy hit the nail on the head, which is basically what I was talking about earlier in the chat. Got to highlight this, right? It's too easy for raiders and it's too hard for casuals, right? So now no one's happy, and no one's happy with how Wing with how Wing 7 is, really, because again, of course, it's very early on. And to be honest, I think Wing 7 will actually see quite high completion rates, because it is considerably easier. I expect it to actually surpass Wing 6 and Wing 5. I'll be very surprised if it doesn't. Because we already see completion rates for Sabir is 3%, Adina is 3%, and Kadim 2 is 2.4% as well. So, yeah, there you go, right? You already have some increasing completion rates for those, and I'd be very surprised if it didn't go above that. You know, maybe even 10% on that, which is obviously not great, right? But the trouble is that your the veteran players who kind of support the raid scene alive, right? Well, you know, and keep things going, keep the scene alive by teaching new players, helping new players, running the community, stuff like that. They're just going to quit. Right? They're going to stop playing, because it's going to be, realistically, probably at least 6 months, right? At least 6 months before we get another raid wing. And unfortunately, we have no idea if if it's going to, well, if there is a new raid win, because ArenaNet hasn't communicated with us, and we don't know if it's going to be difficult or not. And at this point, it's fair to assume that it won't be difficult, because I believe this is actually the fastest progression of all time. I think it's even quicker than Wing 4. Yeah, it's quicker than Wing 4, actually. Yeah. Because Wing 7 took 1.5 hours to beat. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I tuned into your stream. You had 1,700 plus people in your stream. I tuned in. I was probably almost an hour late, and you guys were clearing the... You had them at like 7%. You guys were like super professional mode, where it was mostly just you talking, calling out commands, and everybody was doing what they were supposed to do. I think you had like one person dead, and the boss basically just died under the guidance of sitting there DPSing and dodging and jumping and whatever you have to do, you know. But it just felt so like, I got to the chat. I'm like, have they been on the boss for like a half hour or something? Like, is this the first boss? You're like, no, this is the last boss. This is it. They're done. And I'm like, well, okay. I guess I'll go back to doing something else. What the hell?
It certainly is a little sad, and to be honest, like, in a way, you're right when you say that it feels like no one's listening, because I feel like the solution is very obvious here. Now, of course, I have no idea about the how hard this will be to implement, but I just think that the approach they're going is not really correct. Like, this is not the best approach. I think a superior approach will be to implement difficulty settings, right? Because if you just go for this middle ground, no one's happy, right? You know what I mean? No one's happy at all. So I think it would be much better if they did actually implement some difficulty settings. And it's kind of like, well, it's not like I haven't been saying this for a very, very long time, okay, about raids that we could do with some easy mode, but there is one really important thing with raid participation that cannot be ignored here, and that is that the player base in Guild Wars 2 is not actually driven by fun, okay? And I'm not joking, okay? Do you think people play Guild Wars 2 for fun, Inks? You would be very mistaken, okay? People play Guild Wars 2 to be rewarded, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. You want a little cookie? You want a cookie, chat? I think the chat wants a cookie, guys, okay? And that's why, if you take away legendary armor, people don't play raids, okay? Because they are not playing the content for the sake of the content. They're playing the content for the reward, for that dopamine hit, bro. For that dopamine hit, man. Come on, you gotta...
I mean,
yeah.
For me, the first time that I clear a raid, it's for fun. When I farm something, when I farm a raid or I farm a fractal, which like all fractals are on farm nowadays, obviously, then I'm not doing it for fun. Then I'm doing it for the reward. I'm doing it for the skins or whatever it is that you're trying to earn, legendary armor and so forth. But that first time, I'd like to think that most people are like myself and are doing it for the experience and the fun. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but I would like to think that the first time, it's kind of like living story. I play the story one time anymore. I don't, it's very difficult for me to go back and even try and get story achievements because I really just don't want to play it a second time. I really just can't be bothered to go back and hit Kralkatorek 20 times, whatever the hell you have to do in the one thing. So, like, I don't know. The first time, fun. Farming it or grinding it afterwards, I don't know. That's it.
Yeah, I know. But maybe I was being perhaps a little too cynical there regarding the players' motivation, I suppose. But yeah, now this is the important thing with raids. Okay, if you want to get people through the door, it's got to be rewarding. Right? It's got to be time efficient. And this is actually something that recently we should have got Zebaneth on here, man, because she was like she would go in on ArenaNet for this sort of thing, actually. Because recently they actually nerfed repeating raids. You know how raids should be repeatable links? They actually nerfed it. So you used to get bags of gear, right? And utility backpacks for repeating a raid, right? Not much, but something, right? Not much, but something. They actually replaced that this patch with unidentified gear, right?
I hate unidentified gear. I hated ArenaNet. ArenaNet, listen. I hate it. I hate it. Please stop with the unidentified gear. It's God, dear God, please. I hate that system. I don't know. Ugh. Every time I get unidentified gear, I'm just like, it's worse. It's worse than getting a boss champ bag or whatever that you know you're gonna get nothing out of. It just feels even worse than that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like him either. And well, it also happens to like hard nerf. Okay, the fucking gear, the loot as well, which is really unfortunate. But so in my mind, there are two things that would need to happen to get people into raids. Okay, whoa, Joel, why are you saying that, dude? Okay. Come on, like, you know, there's a why is he saying Teapot hates him? I mean, what are you trying to say there, dude? Well, you got me saying that sort of thing. You're gonna get me banned, okay? But anyway, right?
Surprise mechanic.
Yeah. Dude, surprise. Yeah, surprise mechanic. Like that.
What a great, dude. What a great meme.
I know. I see. If anyone needs to know that, like, EA is actually the spawn of Satan. Okay, right? Then yeah, that's good evidence for it. But you know, let's not get too off topic. You know, right off the bat here. Look, raids need to be rewarding, okay? Because Guild Wars 2 players do the most efficient stuff because people want that gold. Okay, that is how the game works. Guild Wars 2, okay, is about earning gold and purchasing your skins, your utility, you know, getting your armor, all that stuff. That is how Guild Wars 2 works. And as it stands right now, raids for the vast majority of players, okay, are stressful, and even if you win, time inefficient. Okay, raids are very again. Now this makes sense, right? Obviously, but if you're really good at raids, okay, then you actually get a lot of gold by doing them, right? But the trouble is, if you aren't good at raids, or if you're pugging raids, okay, then you are in a very bad situation in terms of gold for amount of time, right, Inks? Okay, if that makes any sense, right? So if you're pugging and you're in a non like try-hard group, okay, then raids are not good gold, right? And as a result of that, people don't do raids. So realistically, what I think they should actually do is just like fairly considerably buff raids, right, in terms of rewards. Now, I don't just say that because I'm a raider. I actually don't raid nearly as much as I used to. I'm on vacation, right? So I'm just chilling now. You know, I'm sipping my juice, you know, on a desert island. I'm just chilling out. But I do think that newer players and groups that take a bit longer to beat the bosses should receive more substantial rewards, because as it stands right now, a group might spend an hour on a boss and they're going to be rewarded with 2 gold, right? Okay, and maybe an Ascended drop. Now, an Ascended drop, that would make it worth it, because that can be worth, say, 50 gold, 60 gold, that sort of thing. That's good gold, right? But it's not actually liquid gold, and a lot of people want liquid gold. So I think that it would be better if raids gave you more for beating them. And yes, it's going to reward people who are really good at raids, but, I mean, is that really such a bad thing? Think about it, right, Inks? So the amount of groups that can actually kill the raids quickly and efficiently in a group, an organized group, every Monday, okay, is very low. Okay, very, very low. The amount of gold injected into the economy by raids, okay, is far, far less, okay, than the amount of gold injected into it, as I say, you know, Istan farming, silver waste, etc., you know, blah, 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 okay? So I don't think, okay, I don't think that it will really affect the economy too badly as well. So yeah, certainly just buffing it. And also, why not make harder bosses give more gold, right? Wouldn't that be a novel idea? For example, maybe something like Veil Guardian, who most groups can handle these days, maybe he's 2 or 3 gold, okay? But Doom, maybe taking down Doom is going to give you 15 gold, for example, or maybe 10 gold, 10, 15 gold, right? If you take down or maybe you could even have it dynamic, right? The bosses that get killed the least give you more gold or something like that, right? For example, Kadim is currently the least killed boss. If you take down Kadim, maybe you get 20 gold for doing it, right? And bear in mind, guys, there's not a lack of precedent for making this amount of gold per hour. A daily automated tournament, right, will take you, let's say, an hour and a half to complete. Okay, if you win, you will get 25 gold and 5 mystic coins. That's over 30 gold for 1.5 hours of gameplay. Okay, now of course PvP is a different beast. Obviously, but if you actually compare that time for time, raids are a lot worse than automated tournaments. Of course, automated tournaments happen a bit less than, I guess they actually happen more than raids, I suppose. But you make a lot of gold for doing these tournaments. So I think, PvP, ATs, that's the high-end PvP scene, right? And then raids are the high-end PvE scene. So I think that you should maybe get rewarded a little bit more there, right? Stuff like, raid god, that will be a good thing, right?
Raid god, yeah.
Yeah. Only the winner makes the gold.
Yeah.
And it's not only the winner though. If you come second, you still get 20 gold, which is pretty good. If you come third, you get 15, I think. That's still good money, right?
I was watching, and I don't think Wooden Potatoes even does automated tournaments right now. But I was watching him like a week or two ago, and he had almost like 4,000 gold, I think. And I'm like, what are you doing in the game that makes you so much gold? He's like, I just PvP nonstop. So all of his gold that he has made recently is all just from structured PvP. Probably a lot of it, but regardless of that, it's a good way to make gold in the game. And you just can't farm raids, and I don't know why. You can farm fractals to a certain extent, right? If you do your fractals every week, and somebody was putting the math in chat earlier about how much gold you can make from fractals every week, and so on and so forth. Well, no, this is separate merchant, not just the gold on his account wasn't from viewers. He gives other stuff away. But anyway, the point was that PvP is good for gold. If you want to make gold, structured PvP is a good way to make it. And raids, as Teapot has been saying here for a while, is just terrible. It's just no good for it. And even when you do repeat it, you're not really being rewarded for repeating that content. And I think that sucks. I think you should be rewarded for that,
So I definitely think a reward reform for raids would be a big deal for participation as well. I mean, sure, I'm sure that ArenaNet is aware of how their player base is, right? Okay, the player base of Guild Wars 2 is very reward driven. Okay, they want to get that gold, they want to get that swag, get that cool mount skin, right? And I'll tell you what, if you put say an easy mode raid in, okay, and you could get like a kind of crappy mount skin, right, for doing easy mode, and then for doing CM, you get a really cool mount skin, right? I don't know, that would be pretty good, right? That would be pretty good.
Yeah, like literally all they have to do is put a base mount skin in. For normal mode, you put a little bit more armor on it, and for CM, you put more armor on it. Like, really not that difficult to entice people, I think, to get into some of this content with. Now, see, the problem is gliders and mounts, with the exception of the legendary back pieces or whatever, for gliders, they're always in the gem store. That seems to be a hard stance on them, but it would be nice, and it would be really enticing for people if they imagine if they put a sky scale mount in the newest raid wing. Doesn't even have to look super great, and you put a little bit of armor on it, and then CM mode, you put more armor on it. There would be more people doing it, for sure.
Yeah. I just think that raids are kind of currently lacking... the raids are lacking that carrot, right, as it stands right now. And to be honest, this is my... I was wrong to not consider this perspective, really. I suppose I did, but I just didn't consider it enough. I've always never really cared about rewards in my video games, right? I like the gameplay. I play Guild Wars 2 raids because I like them. I like the Earth boss. I like Kadim. I like Doom CM, right? It's fun. But I understand that a lot of players want to be rewarded for the time they put in. And I think it's definitely a really big problem, and the statistics from efficiency really show this. Now, of course, efficiency statistics are a bit skewed, but to be honest, they're probably not that skewed. If anything, they're probably skewed in the favor of raids, right? So the actual percentage participation is probably a bit lower for all of these raid wings, because, obviously, if you're on efficiency, you're more likely to be a more hardcore, more veteran player. So you're more likely to have done raids. So there's probably a higher percentage of people who haven't done them than would otherwise be the case, right? But yeah, I think raids definitely need new carrot, right? The legendary ring doesn't seem to be quite enough. I don't think people really care that much about coalescence, it seems. Well, maybe they don't care enough to do it anyway, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. There you go. There you have it.
Again, I see comments about like enjoying the game. I enjoy it the first time I do it, but I don't know. You know, after you've killed it, I don't want to say just one time, because there is some joy and fun in killing it a couple of times. But once you have it on a dead farm where you just show up every Monday to do your clear, then that's about getting rewards or getting tokens. You're not necessarily there for, I mean, yes, you're having fun because you're with your friends maybe, but you know, it's not the same experience as the first 2 or 3 times you've cleared something.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, the progression is always the best part of it. You know, it was absolutely right. You know, it's big meme. Now, one thing that I think should happen is you should simultaneously be rewarded for like taking new people through the raids, and you should be rewarded for playing as a guild as well. I think raids need to, in addition to the reward restructuring, I think raids need to promote social gameplay, because I think that's just the best way to do it. And also, you should be rewarded for you know, helping new players. I think, for example, if you help a new player through the raid, like everyone in the group should get a bonus reward, right? If someone is new and they kill it, then boom, there you go. I think everyone should get a bonus reward for helping someone new through the raid, right? Everyone should be helped. But also, if you play with a guild and you actually play as a group all the time, you should also be rewarded for that as well. You know, maybe you get bonus gold, bonus loot, more magic finds.
Or guild marks or something.
Yeah, also, yeah, something like that. Yeah,
make guild currency or whatever.
It's not going to happen, dude. It's not going to happen, okay?
No, I know. There's no guild team. But I mean, if... But getting the guild marks, you know, like you go and do your guild weekly missions or whatever, which, by the way, haven't been updated in years. It would be cool if you got, like, you know, you played as a guild group, you got guild currency or something for that. So, I don't know.
No, PvE casuals don't get rewarded doing jack shit. Give them more. Look, guys, okay? No, look, I really want to lay this down, because I'm sure not everyone in the chat is a complete papago, okay? But look, okay? Is this the hill you want to die on? Okay? Raids in Guild Wars 2. We are standing on a hill right now, guys. Okay? Do you want to die on this very lonely, very high hill of elitism and gatekeeping? The answer is no. No, you don't, because you won't have any more raids if you don't try and help people. Okay? Look, guys.
I love the chat. I love the meme.
Yeah.
They can't help but say yes.
Yes, they want of course they fucking want to, dude. Okay? Oh my god. But no, and it doesn't matter if it's easy to exploit. Like, literally everything is incredibly easy to exploit, guys. Okay? Like, but the thing is, do you really want to punish the many for the sins of the few? No. No, you don't. Okay? That is a very, very bad idea, my friends. Okay? Not good. Not good. Okay? What you want to do is you want to try and benefit a lot of players, then deal with the individuals who are abusing the system, right? Don't just ruin the entire system. Do you know what happens if you do that sort of thing, guys? You end up with the trading post. You end up with the mail system where you can only send 2 mails every minute. Okay? You can only sell like 10 items on the trading post every like 10 years. Okay? Right? It's not good. Okay? You don't want to screw over the majority of players because a few people do stuff bad. And honestly, yeah, the bloody, oh, fuck, the 500 gold cap. Holy shit. What a terrible idea that is, right? Why?
You remember when that wasn't a thing?
Yeah. Oh, dude, why punish the majority of players because a few people are bad, right? Okay? I felt the engine is holding them back on raids. I actually don't agree. I think that the Guild Wars 2 developers have actually done miracles, okay, with the engine, actually. Like, how did they do Kadim? Right? Like, how did they even do that? How did they do Adina? It's amazing with considering, yeah, exactly, right? It's honestly really, really impressive how they were able to do all this stuff with the engine they actually have, right? The engine, I don't think is fucking them over. I think the raid team is actually really good. Like, the developers themselves are very talented and very good Okay, it took them 9 months to do it. Well, yeah, I mean, if you got like 2 developers, it's going to take you a while to make an entire raid wing.
So I think that this is a pretty good question. Somebody in chat is saying we need gear inspect, gear check instead of the LI stuff. ArenaNet's not going to give you gear check, but let's pretend that they did. If gear check was a thing, I know Nike would be super happy. But if gear check was a thing, do you think the LI requirements would actually go away? Or do you think the community is stuck hard on this LI requirement thing that it just wouldn't really even make a difference?
It would make no difference. It may even make it worse because a lot of the times having a few gear discrepancies are nowhere near as important as being actually good at the game. And gear check would not help, in my opinion, actually. LI shows experience, gear check doesn't. Honestly, LI is meaningless. Like, some of the worst groups I've ever been in are 400 LI groups. It's absolutely dog shit. It's also insanely easy to fake as well. I don't like using killproof at all. You just have to... I think that the community should be run on effectively trust. You know, people should... You should encourage people to only join if they know what they're doing and they're actually going to try and contribute, because it's very obvious if people don't know what they're doing. It's incredibly obvious if people don't know how to do the fight, right? So, I mean, Guild Wars 2 is really good in that way, actually, you know? But yeah, Killbro is not ruining the plugins. Yeah, I really disagree with Killbro. I think it's a bit silly, actually. It is not good. Okay, it is not good. That's naive as fuck. Please stop. I mean, tough. I don't know. It's what I do, and my raids seem to turn out mostly all right. Seems good. But yeah, if you give stuff like gear check, you're gonna have people saying only ascended gear, like only infusions, right? It's gonna get fucking crazy, dude. Okay.
Which ArenaNet doesn't want you to have it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
They're afraid of the bullying that would happen with gear check.
Yeah. Also, we need to change server. We've turned into a full robot here, dude. This is not good. Hang on, we got to get out of here. Let me try that. All right. Speak. Are we back?
Speak.
Okay, good. I just changed the server. I changed the Discord server. We turned into a roboto. Okay. Yeah. There we go. No, and we don't bully the casuals, guys, okay? Is what killed Race. Change my mind. I can change your mind. It's very easy, actually, because I was able to get into groups on my anonymous alt account very easily without any kill proof on an incredibly unpopular class. I did this by actually understanding the fight, understanding my class, and slightly bullshitting people and just like memeing on them. Also, you could simply make your own group. You know, it's very easy to do that, and you will get players for that. If you can't get a group in raids, it's because you are not trying. Sorry, I know that's a tough pill to swallow, but you're going to have to swallow it all the same, my friend, unfortunately. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, for example, I would much rather have Nova on his alt account in Exotics than some random, okay, with like full ascended infusions, right? You know, that's just, it really is as simple as that, right? It's, I don't think gear check it would be the best thing. It wouldn't really help. Yeah, I just don't really like killproof in general, but to be honest, like, that is a community thing, actually, right? Like, the community thing does need to change, I don't know. Maybe I'll make a video and save the Guild Wars 2 raid community once again.
I don't know that. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm overly pessimistic when it comes to saving the kill proof thing. I've seen it in every game I've ever played. As far as MMORPGs go, they always want some form of kill proof in order to get into a pug. My best advice is don't pug. Find your static and run with the static.
This is why we need an easy mode, right? Because you saying that solutioning, that is what a big brain, okay, would say, right? Because Guild Wars 2 is an MMO, right? Inks, it's an MMO. There's the other humans in, right? You know, those are actually players, aren't you? You can like wave at them.
I can play with other people?
Yeah. So like you see another guy in the aerodrome, that's not an AI. That's another human, right? That's how it works. So you can like wave at him. You can say, "Oh, hello, buddy," and he's on the other side of the world going crazy, right? You know, those are actually humans, right? Now, Guild Wars 2 players don't like this, okay? Guild Wars 2 is an incredibly antisocial game, okay? People always say that's the friendliest MMO community. No, bullshit, okay? It's just that people never talk to each other. That's why it's friendly. And people are very antisocial. They don't like grouping up, right? And they don't understand that an MMO is about social interaction, so people don't group up. They don't do that. Okay, there is no social interaction going on there, right?
It's true. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, okay, yeah, grouping up is the best way to do it, but it's very unlikely because of the culture that's been cultivated within Guild Wars 2, right? So that's why you need easy mode. That is why you need easy mode. Because you just need something that anyone can do. An auto group finder would be ideal, or just make it scale really easily, right, and get the job done. But you know, it's trying to convince people to group up is just not going to happen, because like people don't want to make their own groups. They want to join someone else's, right? They don't want to do that. They don't want to do this. They don't want to join a guild, right? They just don't want to interact with other human beings, right? Like, it is a bit sad, but hey. That's how you. This what you got to do, dude. Okay, you know you can't do anything. Okay, there's nothing you can do about it. You know, and there's a lot of problems with how the way raids go down. Right, like one thing that I experience in pugs, and I don't know how to fix this actually, but the downtime is unbearable. You know, it is horrific.
Yeah. Even with some statics, you get that right. It's like. Oh, I got to go to the bathroom. Well, if they're going to the bathroom, I'm going to have a smoke.
Yeah,
if they're going to have a smoke, I'm going to get a glass of water. I got to walk my dog.
Yeah.
You know, and I get that all these things have to be done, but it's like, yeah, the downtime can be.
I'm exposing.
Kill you.
I'm exposing. Where's Tweety? I'm exposing Tweety right now. You guys know Tweety? You guys know Tweety, right? Everyone in the chat knows Tweety. Okay. I used to raid on NA, the North American servers. NA. Okay. With Mata, we're doing some fun raids. The downtime, I know it was with fucking Randy as well. Like, Randy was there. It was unbearable. Okay? Every single boss, Randy would be, like, taking a 10-minute break, like, swapping his trinkets. Like, Tweety would be running around in circles. Like, it would take us, like, an hour to kill Wing 1, and we'd one-shot everything, right? Like, this is insane. The downtime was just out of control. Like look, guys, please minimize it. It ruins the experience of people so hard, guys, okay? It is so boring. The downtime is unbearable. You should be, every single time you do a raid, guys, you should be speed running it, right? You gotta go. You gotta get that pace. You gotta bring the pace, bring the pain, okay? Just get the attempts in, right? One of the biggest problems that I actually find with pugs is that they get so few attempts in for the amount of time, right? Or, you know, after they wipe, instead of just going again, they just have to, like, rearrange themselves constantly. It's really weird. Now, this is something that I would really like to encourage, guys, like, and hopefully, listen up, chat, okay? You guys can help me. I don't know how many of you still play Guild Wars 2, or how many are here just to, like, watch me, like, meme on the game a little bit, okay? Right? Because I actually don't know. And be honest, chat. You're all just going to say, they're all going to say me, like, with a smiley face now, right? Yeah, look, they're all doing it. They're all fucking doing it, dude. Look at that. Okay?
Ajax quit. Ajax only plays XCOM now. That's it.
But anyway, right? Anyway, the way people approach raids, I imagine that, to be fair, I actually imagine this is very much the same in other games as well, but this is something that I kind of want to, I would like to address in general. Like, people's approach to learning raids, progressing raids is quite bad, actually. You know, like, there's an approach you want to take. You want to take a very analytical approach, and honestly, just getting in Discord would really help. Okay, it would really fucking help. Like, so many groups for raids disregard the fact that it's group content. They try and play it like solo content. Now, of course, it's not necessarily impossible to beat the raid without being in voice, but it makes it so much easier.
A lot.
It is so much. If you've got a shot caller, if you've got someone who knows what to do, if you can explain over voice, it is so much easier, right? If you just get in voice. Like, my dream is that well, I mean, this would be quite funny, but that when I started playing PvP, every game, I would say, hey guys, let's get on Discord, right? And everyone just told me to fuck off. It's just like, what? It's like, what is this? Okay, like, what's going on there, right? And one time I was organizing a training raid, right, as well, and one guy refused to come in voice, right? And I said, join voice or I'm going to kick you, right? And then
you're
I got called toxic, right? What the fuck,
I
man?
love it. I love
Okay,
it.
right?
Yeah, that's right.
I wanted to get the kill and make it easier for us, and I'm the toxic one. Okay, and bear in mind, it was my group. Okay, it was my group, and I'm toxic for telling them to get on voice.
And then they go to Reddit and say, that Teapot, what a toxic
Yeah.
piece of garbage. I hate him. He gatekeeped me out of raids because I wouldn't listen to him. I can listen to the stream, damn it.
Well, he wasn't even on the stream. That's the thing. He wasn't even on the stream. He was just there, like, leeching. I called him a leech, to be fair. I did call him a leech. Yeah.
Well, now I know why he called you toxic.
Yeah, but he was a leech. It was true, you know? Like, he was leeching. He was bloody useless, and he refused to come and listen. In my opinion, if you are wasting 9 other people's time, that makes you the toxic one. Boom.
I agree. I am very toxic when I raid, which is why I don't raid as I don't.
Yeah. Okay.
Reason 529 of why I don't raid quite as much, but I get super toxic when I raid because the downtime annoys me. Wiping on a boss for the 75th time and laughing about it because you're goofy or whatever annoys the hell out of me. I get annoyed very easily with nonsense in raids.
Oh yeah.
So I don't really have a problem if someone says, "Hey, Inks, you're toxic to raid with," because it's true. I have a very short fuse when I just want to get it done. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I'm the same, man. Like it is quite hard for me to raid with people. Well, actually, no. I don't know. Maybe this is a bit weird. Actually, this might be a little bit weird. Now, I don't mind playing with people who I know are going to fuck up. Right. What really gets me is when people who I know can do the fight fuck it up. Right. You know, like when I know someone's done Doom like 100 times and they fuck it up, like that actually triggers me. Okay, you know, like that actually triggers me. But other than that, I'm fine with it. I don't mind that stuff, right? Guys, block Inks on Twitter. Don't follow Inks on Twitter, by the way.
Switching gears a little bit, fractals. Man, we need a good fractal. I feel like the last couple have been a little underwhelming.
Yeah. Well, fractals for me died when they basically said they're never doing a CM ever again. You know? That's
yeah. What's a shame is I really like fractal content, but I've done it so much that I don't, you know what I mean? It's kind of been taking a break from fractals for a long time, but yeah, I don't know. The last couple have been kind of underwhelming for me. I haven't even done Siren's Reef. That's how underwhelming it was.
Yeah, and
I watched somebody else do it, and I was like, I'm not even interested.
Yeah, I don't know what they would really think it was Siren's Reef. They just made it very spammy and very AIDS, you know. And this seems to be like something that they've done a fair bit, right? Like I actually think Deepstone is a great fractal. I really like Deepstone. But Siren's Reef is just like, it's just annoying, you know. It's just like it's not that much fun to do, really, and there's no CM or anything like that. The trouble with it is that I just find them to be, you just farm gold in fractals, right? I like the CMs because you actually, you know, you could do them well. You can play the video game, right? You know, there's actually some challenge to it, a bit of oomph. They've got some proper bosses, a lot of mechanics on it. Yeah, I don't know. Like fractals are just, they're not really doing it for me anymore. I haven't done a fractal for a very long time. In fact, the only time I do fractals is when I can leech an end boss. Do you know that shitings? This is actually like big brain. Okay, this is what you do. Okay, you wait for a group to fall apart, right, on Arc CM, right, and then you join that group and carry the group.
And then you just join that group. Nice.
Yeah, so you don't have to do like the other shit. You just join the end boss and then get all the rewards. It's the best. That's how you do it, dude. It feels damn good. It feels damn good. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I would love a new fractal. I would love a proper CM fractal. Loads of bosses, cool bosses, but I'm just not sure if we're going to see that. I think that fractal CMs are kind of what the future of raids look like, you know? I think the CM participation was very low, and they probably viewed it... Well, to be fair, the fractal CM, the way fractals are designed, the CMs actually did divide the community, right? Because there was very much the CM players and the non-CM players. Right, so there was some community division there, for sure, right?
Okay, but I would say that it didn't really hurt I would say that it didn't really hurt the Fractal community in the sense that you can still easily find a group to do normal mode. Like, I never have a problem, at least on NA. I can't speak for EU. I haven't been on EU in a while, but like, it didn't, while it may have divided the community there, it didn't make it any more difficult for you to find a daily group at reset or whatever.
Oh yeah, I'm completely with you. I really don't like the divide the community argument, because in my opinion, the community is already divided. Good players group with good players. Good players don't want to play with bad players. They want efficiency. They want to play well. So the community was already very much divided. Like, the community divides itself, right? It's arguably even a good thing, right? It increases the satisfaction for everyone, really. You don't have people who are frustrated when it comes to CMs. But I don't know. I honestly, Fractal CMs are some of the best content they ever made in the game. That's simple as that. Like, the encounters are really good. Really, really good. I really like them. I know Brazil didn't like them, but I really like them. And it's a real shame that that's dead. I'd love to see a new Fractal, though. It would be fantastic. A new Fractal with some CM on it, but I think it's very unlikely, unfortunately. I think it's very much going to be a normal mode only, sadly. And, yeah, I don't know.
And you know what? I don't even do CMs that often, but I like the idea that the CMs are there if I want that little bit extra challenge that day. I'm not going to do it every single day. That's not the type of person I am. But I do think that CMs provide that extra level for those people who want to do that extra difficulty. And I think that's important for the game overall.
Oh, no, it definitely is. I think ArenaNet has strayed away from multiple difficulty settings for far too long. I think their approach to PvE content has butchered the scene, unfortunately, for everything. People just can't be bothered anymore, and I don't want, this is something that I have personal experience with, but when it comes to the elitist raiding party, the raid tournament, stuff like that, people just don't care, right? Like, their enthusiasm has just been beaten down for years with this stuff, and people aren't motivated anymore. They don't care. And maybe ArenaNet wants that, right? It's entirely possible. It might be a bit cynical to say that, but maybe ArenaNet actually wants that. They want people to just not really be hardcore. They want people to only play casually. That might be what they actually desire. And if that's their intention, well, they're doing a very good job of that. I've got credit where it's due, ArenaNet.
I'm gonna offer. So my take on it is this: the less that I play, or the more casually that I play Guild Wars 2, the less money I spend on the game. I've embarrassingly spent a lot of money on this game, cash, outside of being a partner. And the more casual that I play the game, the less content there is to constantly engage me and so forth, the less money I spend overall. So if you want people to spend money, in my opinion, bring that content. Casuals are great, and they keep, the casual player who doesn't have a lot of time or whatever and only plays maybe 1 or 2 hours a week or something, whatever. Yes, they will spend money. Yes, they will keep the game afloat. They have been keeping the game afloat. But if you want people to spend the big money, the big bucks, constantly buy like almost every week or every 2 weeks, you really need to engage those people and keep them DeRoyer level addicted. Do you know what I mean? Leave DeRoyer alone. No, but seriously, DeRoyer level addicted, where he's playing like, I forget, he had a video one time, World vs. World or something, where he was like, oh, I'm probably just going to play for 6 hours. And I think he played for like 28 or something to finish off whatever it is he was working on. I don't remember the whole story, but like, you need to keep people like that addicted and engaged, and they will spend the money. You know what I mean? And I think that in more recent times, there's been a real problem with that.
Yeah, and player retention is a really big problem, because one thing that also came with these statistics, someone else did some other stats on this sort of thing about the living story. Actually, the engagement with the living story on these patches as well, and even that's down actually. For example, HOT, 66% of accounts beat that, right? Living Story Season 1, Episode 1 was 60%. Then Living Story Season 3, Episode 4 was 51%. and this is like basically what he's doing here. He's tracking a story that gets released at the same time as a raid, right? And then for Wing 5, Living Story Season 1, Season 4, Episode 1 was 47%. And then Wing 6, they did Season 4, Episode 4 was only 35% of the accounts beat the story, right? Which is obviously not good. So like retention kind of across the board is not ideal. And yeah, it sounds like that stat is not the most reliable one, in my opinion, because it's efficiency is not that good. Yeah, people are quitting, right? People are not playing, right? It sucks, right? I do think that everyone can be catered to. Like, in a way, I think we are a little bit too binary here. Now, it's true that can ArenaNet just survive off casuals? Yes. Do they need to? I don't think so. I think they can make everyone happy. I think they have the talent. They have the ability to make everyone happy. And the trouble is that I don't think they're actually making that many people happy right now at all. And yeah, a lot of people are kind of playing the story, but I feel like the game is not as good as it could be, you know? I think people are kind of falling off, and a lot of their game modes are just kind of bleeding out. Right, you know, like even PvP is struggling, world versus world is struggling, raids are struggling. Like, you know, it's even the story is not ideal. Although, I mean, I don't know, I don't think I should be saying that. I've got to disagree with myself now, because goddamn, dude, like when they've been running these events, have you seen this new like event program they're running in? So like every single week they've got an event, they've got something with bosses. The amount of engagement they're getting on that is insane, and it's the same thing.
Because you're giving people something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, it's great, and they should have been doing it a long time ago. But I mean, we could harp on that, you know, if you want to. But the reality is, they're doing it now. They've seen positive engagement from it. I have no idea what the heck is going on. I killed a couple of bosses. I got some crystals. I have no idea what to do with them. If I really want them, I guess I'll raid and get them that way. But I think it's great. I think it's great that they're doing these boss weeks, and they're doing these special throw stuff into the forge weeks or whatever they're doing. And now we have Dragon Bash coming back next week. Lots of people excited for that. And I will say this, this Dragon Bash, this holiday festival coming up, is actually a little bit exciting, even for like 306 is saying reused vanilla content. But really, Dragon Bash was gutted with the Lunar New Year, right? Because the activity went into that, and then we really didn't do Dragon Bash for a long time. So there's going to be new rewards, obviously. There's going to be some new arena content or something where you fight a boss or waves of enemies or something. So I don't know that that's reused. I think that's kind of new. You know, after the first year or two, you know, you'll probably get a little tired of it. But the festival for this particular year coming up next week should be interesting for those who really like the different festivals anyway.
Yeah, it's good. The approach they're taking here is excellent, right? And I guess I'm looking forward to it. Dragon Bash, like, I don't know why people are so excited for it, because I always thought it was a bit rubbish. Like, almost nothing happens, right? You know?
Yeah, I don't know why people were so hyped for Dragon Bash before. Now it uses Zytaffy. It uses a different currency or whatever, which I'm sure that ArenaNet will extend. There'll be a bunch of new minis and probably an infusion or something. It was always about the hologram and fireworks in the sky, so it's like a 1st or 4th of July kind of thing. People just like the song. Yeah, maybe people just like the
I don't
song.
like the song. The song freaks me out. I don't like it. Get rid of it. Delete it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can send your hate mail to @MightyTeapot on Twitter.
Yeah. No, don't do that. Fuck Dragon Bash, dude. I don't like that. Okay? No, delete it. They are adding some new stuff, though, actually. They're adding some new stuff. There's, like, mower racing that's going on. We've got apparently there's, there's this new thing where you fight increasingly difficult waves of enemies. Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, mower racing was in there before, so they're bringing that back. We haven't had it for a long time. That's a surprise mechanic, by the way. Surprise. You lost. The wave thing sounds cool. We've seen stuff like this before, when there was Evan Nashblade versus Evan Keel, there was this wave of increasing difficulty of enemies. I don't know if it'll be the same. It'll probably be a little different, but it should be interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. It should be interesting. I mean, I'm kind of, I guess I am looking forward to it. I will play through it, but again, it's like I'm not gonna do it a lot. You know, the trouble is, I kind of want to address this. Like people like saying, yeah, well, Teapot, you know, there's loads to do in the game. Well, yeah, there's a lot to do in the game, but it's all effectively chores. Okay, this is one thing that I'm gonna go on a bit of a rant here, guys. Right, we're doing a little bit of a rant now, but listen up, guys. Okay, most of the content in Guild Wars 2 is effectively trivial. Okay, it's not even a fucking video game. Okay, think about how you get the sky scale. It's literally worse than vanilla WoW questing. Like, people think that, you know, vanilla WoW questing is like, you know, oh wow, how exciting, get 12 bear asses, okay? Well, at least you have to kill the bears in vanilla WoW. In Guild Wars 2, you just like run around the map and find them. Like, that's not even a game, okay? What the fuck is that? It's not even playing, right? You're running around in circles doing nothing. That doesn't count, guys. That's not video gaming. Right? Oh my god. Oh, the bot is not cleansing people. Okay? Well, do you get 60 bears? Yeah, 60 bears is still better than, like, running around collecting 60 eggs. What I don't like about a lot of the content in Guild Wars 2 is that it's not actually video games, okay? You're just running around pressing F a lot of the time. It's not good, okay? That's not good. Okay, a lot of the content they add to the game essentially boils down to that. It avoids the combat system. It avoids any kind of engagement, right, with the product, with the game. Okay, and look at Aurora. I will never do Aurora, okay, or Vision, or anything like that, because it's going to take a very long time for me to get it, right, and it's not even playing, okay? Oh my god, yeah. It's not good. It's not good. I just find that a lot of considering how advanced Guild Wars 2 is in terms of the combat system, in terms of its mechanics, I'm amazed how they managed to make it. Tedious. You know, it's impressive. It's impressive, and it feels bad, man. I think that super casual games and like the ultra casual nature of Guild Wars 2 is making the game worse, okay? And it's a really big problem. And yeah, maybe they'll make a lot of money. Maybe they will. And good for them. But their game is going to be worse for it, right? And that is what is upsetting me, because I don't want to go and play another game. I really like this game. This is probably the best game I've ever played. Guild Wars 2 is one of the best games ever made, okay? Legitimately ever made. This game is a miracle. How the developers managed to create Guild Wars 2, we may never know, ladies and gentlemen. We might actually never know how they were able to do this, right? Okay? It was, you know, as they were typing the code, like a lightning strike, like, okay? Just struck them in the head, okay? And it inspired them, right, to create Guild Wars 2. They were somehow able to do it, right? But to see how it ends up being used is just the most depressing shit ever, right? Like Guild Wars 2 being like a press F, like meme fiesta is just the most disappointing shit ever, right? It is a complete clown fiesta. Get those honks in the chat, boys. Okay, you know, get the honks all over the place. No, it feels bad, man. Okay, it feels very bad.
Yeah, I just made Trolky happy, but you see what I'm wearing?
Oh, wait, Alliance. Well, you're not going to play Alliance.
Alliance, baby.
You're not going to play
take
Alliance.
Down Teapot.
Oh,
we are. We're going to play Alliance.
We're going
to take Teapot down.
Are you not playing Horde in Classic?
I'm not playing Classic at all. But I found this the other day, and it was like, I can't believe I still have this beanie. It barely fits.
Okay, I see.
But you were talking about, like, this is the only game that you want to play, but there's Classic WoW.
Yeah.
There's Classic, baby.
Yeah, but in a way, I feel like I'm forced to play Classic, because I really like MMO video games, okay? And Guild Wars 2, it's not enough at this point, you know? It's not enough. It will not be sufficient for me to continue playing. So yeah, I don't really have much of a choice, so I'm just going to go play WoW.
Yeah, everybody loves the Horde, I know. I didn't like the Horde. I played Alliance, even early on. I know. I know the popular thing is to be the Horde. Almost everybody I know was Horde or wanted to play Horde. My cousin, when we started playing, was an Alliance Warlock, so we played Alliance.
Okay,
And I just played a filthy human.
Yeah.
Filthy casual human.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
RPing in whatever the human place is called. I don't even remember.
Yeah. For what it's worth, I will still play Guild Wars 2, but I'll play Guild Wars 2 like the devs want me, okay? And what that means is I will just log in whenever there's something, and I'll log out when there isn't, right? And I can already see the chat saying, oh yeah, Teapot, that's how you should be doing it right now. You know, just log into the game when there's something, then you log out afterwards, okay? What a fucking waste, okay? What a waste, okay? Of the good game that is Guild Wars 2, okay? That is just sad, okay? That is just depressing, I tell you, okay? But yeah, that is what will become of me. Guild Wars 2, ArenaNet finally beat me down. They beat me down, and it feels bad. But yeah, there you go. I'll become a casual gamer, okay? And I just think that Guild Wars 2 could capture that kind of audience, right? Like, for some reason... for some reason, all these other games don't seem to have all these problems, right? Okay, it's big memes, right? Okay, it's good. You know, a lot of other games have a lot of repeatable stuff, a lot of grind, a lot to do, a lot of stuff, a lot of end game, but Guild Wars 2 just doesn't really deliver on that. And yeah, it's because they don't want to cater to that audience. But hey, you know, I kind of feel like that just because a section of the player base is a minority, I don't think that means that there should just be nothing towards them, right? You know, and that's just.
I mean, I would argue that even in World of Warcraft, raiders are the minority, which sounds crazy, I know, but I would bet you they're still the minority even in World of Warcraft.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
the majority of players are hanging out in Goldshire. Somebody reminded me. You know, they're just
RPing. Yeah, they're just RPing. Yeah.
Naked
and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for ranting, guys. I wanted to keep this T-Time relatively PMA. You know, I wanted to keep that pretty PMA. Okay, you know, pretty PMA. So you know, we'll leave this, right. I want to keep it nice and happy. I mean, I'm still having fun in Guild Wars 2. Like one of my goals now is what I'm probably likely to do is try and make a PvP team, bit of a 0 to hero situation. Gonna take some just random players and see how well we can do as a team, because honestly, man, like this is fucking crazy, dude. Okay, like, I don't know, man, like it's difficult to make a team with the players because all the players kind of don't like each other, don't have the best attitudes. But you know, we're gonna
like each other.
Yeah, it's good, dude. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a 0 to hero PvP thing. We'll see. I'll try and lead my team to victory, my friends. Okay, but we'll see. We'll see. I missed last year's PMA Guild Wars 2 playthrough. Yeah, I mean, look, I had to change it around, guys. Like last, wait, didn't I say nearly 2 years ago? I think nearly 2 years ago I said, wait, what is this, dude? What is it? What is this pasta, guys? What is this garbage? Okay, but anyway, I was last year.
Yeah, what is this?
I was Ultra PMA, right? I said that 2018 would be the year of Guild Wars 2, right? I was very wrong. That was an incredibly foolish thing. We got 1 raid in 2018, where it should have been at least 2, really. And now I'm not going to do that anymore. I cannot be PMA anymore, guys. I'm really sorry. It just cannot be done, unfortunately. Especially seeing as, you know, there's not likely to be an expansion soon. What realistically, when it comes to Guild Wars 2, what I'm waiting for is an expansion, right? To get me to actually get excited about the game again, you'd need an expansion, right? 100%. Or new elite specializations or something like that. I know this is a bit sad for me to say, but like nothing as it stands right now would actually get me hyped about this game. Like not even a new raid at this point. I'll be like, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of excited, right? But not on the level. Like when Wing 5 came out, right? Doom. Like the hype was insane, dude. Okay, honestly, Wings 1, 2, and 3, the hype was off the fucking chart. Okay, it was absolutely insane, right, for those wings. And Wing 4, people were really hyped for Wing 4, but then it kind of flattened off because it was really easy, right? People were really excited when these raids comes out. But now it's like, everyone is just like gone into like the, you know, everyone, before raids, we were sitting in our chairs like this, right? And now everyone's kind of, it's you know, this is where we are right now, you know, like this. Yeah, Heart of Thorns. Heart of Thorns is like this, right? Path of Fire is more like, you know. Well, actually, Path of Fire is fucking this, dude. Okay. You know, like now this is like this is fucking Path of Fire, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like flailing your fucking arms around, like doing. Oh god, I just fucked myself up. God damn it. Oh. Right. Okay. Right. So that's what you're dealing with there. Okay. Right, it's not, the excitement just wasn't there, you know. Yeah, I mean, playing through Path of Fire one time was great, but then after that, it's gone, right? Everyone went back to like farming Jack Garrett. It's a little bit. Watch my back. I didn't watch my back. I just like ripped my spine off, dude. Feels good. Feels damn good. Okay, it feels good.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a rough year for Guild Wars 2. I feel like we say that probably quite often. There's a couple things coming up that do excite me, but they're more quality of life things and not necessarily content. The story does actually excite me because we just have no idea what they're going to do. But again, you know, I only played the story once, and then I'm, you know, 2.5 hours, and I really drag that story out. You know, most people aren't going to get 2 hours, 2.5 hours out of that kind of content. I'm going to say alliances might be the only super hype thing, and that's going to be so community dependent and player dependent in the fact that you need to be engaged when alliances come out, that it's going to be easy just to miss that entire thing. Like, alliances could happen and be a complete flop if it's not engaged properly. So that's scary, but at the same time, alliances could be exciting just because I've been enjoying World vs. World a little bit more lately.
Alliances are going to be great, but it won't save World vs. World for me because I just don't enjoy the gameplay as it stands right now. I think World vs. World is so just wrecked in terms of balance that World vs. World has so many problems with it that just alliances is not enough. It needs a full balance rework, to be honest. It needs to be utterly reworked completely. Every single class needs to be reworked, and that's not going to happen. So alliances will come around, and yeah, it will absolutely fix a lot of issues, right? It should make the community maybe a bit more excited to do things. It should improve player distribution. But if you're looking to get new players into World vs. World who aren't already there, I just don't think it will really work because players are going to join it. They're going to get blasted by Revs critting them for 20k. Scourge is spamming every single ability in the game. There's going to be AIDS red circles everywhere. Meteor Shower one-shotting you. Soul Beast that like rapid fires you for 50k or something ridiculous with the one-shot build. I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, have fun, I guess. Like GLHF. You know, people are going to join that and say, oh, nope. Get me out of here. And I don't know. There are a lot of problems with World. So it's a shame. It's honestly an amazing game mode. And, you know, maybe they'll fix these things. I really do. Okay? I really do. There's actually no problems with the proper group.
We'll see.
I disagree.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
World vs. World has, like, it's been through so many different directors' hands as well that people cannot... It's a hard nut to crack. It's a hard problem to solve. Yeah. And I think that they've sort of wasted a lot of time trying to solve it as well. But alliances, if alliances are received well, and if there's a lot of other work that comes along with it, I'm not really talking about new maps, but like you said, balance is a big thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be the big excitement for me. And I don't even think it's coming this year, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But
alliances are a tricky one.
Other than that, we don't know what to look forward to. We assume fractals are coming, but we don't know. Yeah. I assume raids are coming, but we don't know. We know story is coming. We know that structured PvP Swiss is coming, although I don't really structure PvP, so that doesn't matter to me. And we know a couple quality of life things are coming, and that's really it. Like, we don't really know
build templates.
Anything else.
Build templates are coming.
Yeah, and build templates are cool. And legendary signets, sigils, and whatever, all that stuff is cool. And it's interesting to me, but we need content to go with it to play when you have the build templates and so forth. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. I do also want to address this, like, Failcon saying that, like, yeah, dude, you can counter the rev scourge. I think World vs. World, like, balance-wise, I mean, it's kind of okay, because, you know, you can just play exactly what the other guy's playing. I just think it's incredibly unfun. It's spectacularly unfun. And I don't like it. I don't like playing current meta World vs. I think it's stupid. I think it's also incredibly brain-dead. It's somehow more brain-dead than like HOT meta, where you basically like spammed all your shit really hard. Now you like the optimal way to play Scourge is pressing all your abilities at the same time, very fast, at the same time as everyone else. I mean, yeah, World vs. World is never going to be the biggest brain game mode, but I really just don't like how World vs. World plays out right now. And to us, I think everyone I think almost everyone agrees it's incredibly obnoxious and incredibly unfun. You know. That's I don't know, it is what it is. But yeah, to go back to a lot of those things that you were talking about, Inks, sorry for slightly diverging the topic there. Yeah, the lack of knowing is a really big problem, or rather, you know, the time scale for this thing is really kind of killing the hype, right? Like, yeah, build templates are coming. That's kind of a really nice thing, and it's going to be feels fun, man, right? But then again, right, we have no idea when that's coming, and realistically, it's going to be a very long time, right? A very, very long time for this sort of thing. It's going to be ages. Like alliances, I do think alliances are actually coming this year. They released a post recently when they were saying as we prepare for World versus World alliances. I think that is coming soon, actually. Yeah, it's good. I think it will be this year. Probably, I don't know. I want to say like October or something like that. September, October, that kind of meme, you know, something like that. But build templates, I think, is ages away, and a lot of these features are just. It's going to take so long for this stuff to actually come through, but I don't know, Kevin. It's a bit of an uncertain one for me. I wish ArenaNet would just communicate, and I think you're a bit optimistic when it comes to raids. Like, I am of the position that I'm gonna. I assume that there is no raid coming until they say there is, right? So I go the opposite direction. Like, you're saying there's a raid until they say there isn't. I think there's no raid until they say there is. I don't know. Maybe we'll see something if the raid participation picks up. Now, one thing they did do with the raid, which is really good, was that the fact that you could get some of the rewards from open world, right? You could do some stuff in open world to get some of that, you know, this like Jinn essence, and eventually you'll have to do the raid for that. So maybe that will help. Maybe that will help people get into the raid or engage with the content in some way. But it scares me because they're not actually engaging with the raid. They're engaging with something that can also give you rewards from the raid. It's not the same thing. So yeah, I mean, it's not the best approach there, but that sort of thing.
Yeah, we talked about that like 2 weeks ago, and it's not going to help the raid. It's going to help people in open world feel better about getting rewards, I guess, but it's not going to make them want to do the raid or get into the raid in any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, it's yeah. God, let's run away from this. Let's talk about Dragon Bash. Okay, let's talk about Dragon Bash. Do you like Dragon Bash, Inks?
Yeah, Dragon Bash is okay. I mean, I think we're getting a number of new things for Dragon Bash, so that's kind of exciting. The rewards, you know, I was talking about this on my stream the other day. The rewards for festivals aren't as interesting to me necessarily anymore, because you've got the easy to get stuff that everybody's going to get, and then you've got the high tier stuff like the infusion or whatever that either takes lots of gold or just insane RNG luck, surprise mechanics, whatever. Neither of which I'm really interested in grinding out, to be quite honest. So I'll do the achievements, I'll do the basic stuff, and that'll be fun. You know, betting on the MMOs again a little bit will be fun for those who like to waste gold. But we'll see. Like you said, the first and only Dragon Bash we had was okay, but it wasn't that exciting. But people love Dragon Bash for some reason, and they've been begging ArenaNet to bring Dragon Bash back ever since then. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we will see indeed. I mean, the thing that does kind of catch my eye, something we very, very briefly touched on a while ago, right, was there's this kind of new event where you have to fight enemies, right? And the longer it goes on, the more dangerous the enemies are. So hopefully it gets really hard. I mean, somehow I doubt that it's actually going to be that difficult. I don't know why. I just have a bit of an inkling that it might not be that difficult. But if it goes infinite, that would be great, right? That would be fantastic. I would love it if there was some kind of infinite thing going down, right? Where it just keeps scaling up, keeps getting harder and harder and harder, right? For more and more rewards. I think that would be great. I wonder how many people are involved in it, actually, because there was an article, but I don't think it actually said... The Dragon Arena, okay? Fight waves of enemies with increasing difficulty. Do you guys think that's 10-man or 5-man? What if that's 10-man content? Because what did we get with Freezy, right? We had a Winter's Day 10-man encounter, guys, okay? Well, it's solo? Oh,
yeah, I think it's solo.
Wait, why do you think it's solo? Does it say?
I don't know if it says, but we've seen content like this before, sort of.
Okay. Well, in that case, we're gonna... Yeah, in that case, we break out the necromancers, guys. Yeah.
Somebody says it was a small group. Magical Mike says it was a small group in the trailer. I don't know. I don't even know if I watched the trailer. Was there a trailer?
Okay.
I feel so bad, but like the trailers are like 10 seconds of content anymore, so...
Yeah, I don't know. The trailers, like talking about the marketing, that's another thing entirely, right? You know, like the hype is maybe not there, okay? But I don't know. At this point, you know, Inks, I kind of feel like I lost. You know, I lost the video game. You know, do you know why? Because whenever I'm talking about this stuff, I'm going to expose myself. Are you ready for the biggest self-expose ever? Okay, I'm going to expose myself harder than Zorik ever could. Okay, even harder than Big the Snake could. Right? It's just. I just think about this stuff and I go, Inks, I don't care.
You don't care about Dragon Bash?
No.
It looks cool. I mean, it looks pretty.
No, I don't. I don't care. And even worse, when there's like a new story coming out, I don't give a fuck. Right? It's
Harsh. Ouch.
And when there's an event, everyone's going crazy. Oh, wow, all these world bosses. How do you can get some bonus for the world bosses?
There's a new wing and there's a holographic helmet.
Yeah.
So those will be like probably the meta achievements. You got the MMOs running.
It's just, I feel like I've got to the apathy stage, you know?
Yeah, big time.
I've got really, really big apathy, right? It's.
I'm going to guess it looks like you can do a party of 5 maybe in the arena.
It looks like it might be kind of scaling group. Look at this, what Gem found. For the combat-oriented Tyrian, the Dragon Arena will challenge your abilities as you fight an increasingly difficult array of enemies. Here you will and hopefully a group will take on enemies from Ice Beast to Hydras, with hordes of enemies fluttering about between the larger, tougher battles. This is the game I spent the most time in, as the combat was challenging and fun. Even with the group of 4, there were enemies we were not able to beat in the time frame required. So it looks like it's 5-man at least, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's really difficult for me to comment on a lot of this stuff, and in a way, I feel like I'm doing it in slightly bad faith, and I feel like I should tell you guys because I'm sure you're here for. Well, I don't know why you're here if you're not here to listen to my opinion on some of this stuff. It's almost like it's difficult for me to give a legitimate opinion because it's almost like in bad faith. Because I just feel I feel like I'm in the acceptance phase, right? I feel that even talking about this stuff is kind of just like. Why, it's just okay. We're going through like the crisis part of the tea time now, guys. Get ready for the crisis part. It's just why are we even talk about this? Like realistically, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter if I was the most skilled orator in the entire universe, Inks. Okay, if like people were like moved to tears with my speeches, which I'm sure they are, by the way. Okay, I genuinely believe that nothing short of like actually changing the rules of the universe would actually change how Guild Wars 2 is, right? I genuinely believe that nothing that nothing we say actually makes any difference. Okay, right, there's the depression stream, guys. Where's the depression stream fucking pasta? Now we gotta go, guys, okay? Get the peepo hands out of here. Like, forced hands is banned, dude. Like, you know that Frosty added that peepo, okay, to his sub meme, okay? For the only reason because it was so sad that I banned it from my own chat, right? That's real, okay? Peepo hands was like not allowed here. Look at all these sad ones. Look how sad these Peepos are, man. This is horrible, okay? Will there be a raid tournament? There will, okay? There's one last thing. And why play it? Because I really like the game, but I didn't say like playing the game is pointless. I just said that trying to influence the game is pointless. It's a very different thing. Oh my god, I'm drowning. Where's Matt? We need to call Matt. We need to bring Matt into this shit, dude. That's what we need, okay? Wait, Envy is talking to me. What's going on here? Okay, we can actually add Envy to tea time. Envy can bring the energy here. Okay, let's go. Actually, we could do that. Should we do that? What do you think? Chat, should we bring Envy on for the end of the tea time? Because we're kind of approaching... We're approaching the end. What do you guys want to do? Okay, we can do it if you want. He might try and cheer us up. He can cheer us up maybe a little bit. Okay, what's the schedule for tonight? We're just talking about some video games, man. Talking about Guild Wars 2. A little bit of that. Okay, right. They want Envy. Let's bring Envy in. Okay,
Yeah,
here we
bring
go.
Envy in.
We're bringing him in. We're bringing him in. There we go. Create group DM. Oh, it's getting weird now. Oh my god, what is this? There we go, boys.
Yo,
Look at this, boys.
late entry.
Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with a bit of late entry. Bring that BDO energy. Look, okay. I've reached the depression stage of the tea time. I need you to bring the energy now, Envy. Okay, you need to.
TeaTime, we gotta bring you back.
Nike for
Yeah.
extra depression.
Yeah. Oh, no, like Nike. If we bring Nike in here, he's just gonna start going psycho. Okay. Okay, guys. If you want me to, okay, do I add Bix a Snake? Okay. Do I add Bix a Snake to the Discord as well? I'll just like bring him in. Okay. I'll bring. Oh, like Nike actually wants to join. Okay, we can. Okay, let's go. I add Nike. Let's go.
Dude, we started off with nobody.
Yeah.
Teapot.
Yeah.
And now we got
now
a full cast.
people. Yeah. Now we're going in. I'm adding Nike. Okay, do it. Like Bic or AFK. Yeah, do it. You need the energy. Okay, we need some energy. Then we're just calling Nike now. Now we're bringing this in. Okay, I don't really know where this is going at this point. This is probably gonna get a little bit weird.
Oh my god.
Oh look, here he is. Okay, so now we've got the perfect balance. Like this is, I believe that this is like a 1v3. I'm pretty sure me, Inks, and Nike are gonna like roast the game, and now Envy's got to try and bring the energy. Okay, so that's it's gonna be difficult. Yeah.
Stacked house, man. This is quite the trio.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. I'm gonna try and make you guys make a Envy appear real quick. Give me a second. Actually, that might be a bit difficult. Actually. Things are getting, my Discord's fucked. Okay, it's fine. They're stealth.
It's all good.
They're stealth mode right now, but that's okay, guys. Okay. So, yeah. What's in your mind, Envy? What's the situation? Lay it down.
I'm having a great time with the game, man. I feel like it's doing better than ever. And like every time I watch your stream, you do high energy stuff, but then like after a couple hours, you just hear that sad song, and I'm trying to get you out of it, but like I don't know what to do. Like last night was fun. You brought the energy. We killed Doom as soon as you got there after a couple pulls, but I don't know. Like I'm swapping over to EU and I'm raiding Michello doing 99 and 100 CM. I'm swapping servers with Val and we're going around double thief, ganking people in World v World. I'm doing ATs. I'm casting MATs. I'm having a blast with the game. I feel that like when I finish up at the office, I can't wait to get home to get on the game.
Wow.
And my little crew we're running around with, we're having a big time. Everyone's making vision. We're working on coalescence. But there's just a ton of, there's almost too much stuff to do. Like I have literally too much on my plate, but I really actually enjoy the collections. I think they are a ton of fun. Like I worked on Hope last night, and then I'm actually doing like two at the same time. I'm doing Chuka and Chumpawat and Hope at the same time, just because I find the collections of the legendaries is what makes them special to me. I feel like Envy is the pre-depression teapot.
Yeah, and it's true.
Junior teapot.
You're me, but like 2 years ago, honestly, maybe 2.5, 3 years ago. There was when I had the same level of energy. I mean, I still feel like I bring the energy. You know, I'm able to get hyped. It's just that a lot of this is actually my own fault. Like I'm even worse than your regular hardcore player, right? A lot of my goals in the game are very difficult to do in Guild Wars 2. Like I don't like raiding is almost not quite enough for me. What I want to do is raid with a good group and like do well and like try hard and get the job done. Okay, that's very difficult to convince people to do. Like when I play PvP, I want to have a team that really wants to win and wants to play every day and also isn't cancer. Now that's really difficult to get. Okay.
Does Guild Wars 2 Racing have like a similar? Okay, have you ever seen the Raider IO from World of Warcraft?
I'm familiar with the kind
do
of
we
tools,
have
right?
something like that? Like, okay, so basically you, Inks, myself, Nike, a couple other guys and girls, we make a squad of 10. We go kill Wing 4. It shows our comp, it shows kill time, it shows like basically everything. Gear, what runes you're wearing, what build you're running. And then people can say, oh wow, Teapot's B team did Wing 4 in this time. Oh, we could beat that. And then you see another team that does it, and then they move up a rank and they get points from it. That's what WoW built, and like,
oh god, ArenaNet would never do anything remotely.
I know they because that would be so bad to the community. But it's
there. It wouldn't actually be bad. Like it wouldn't be super toxic, but they would just assume it is and just not even pursue it.
Like it's what's carrying World of Warcraft. Like Mythic Plus is carrying WoW right now. Like all my friends that are like they get bored and don't know what to play, they always go back to WoW and play M Plus because it's literally crack. Like it's the most addicting thing. Like pushing another key, getting a higher level. What comp we run? Check out this trinket. I'll mix this in. It lets us pull this room faster. And I mean, you literally are not only theory crafting your class, your build, your comp, but then the pulls within the dungeon and the time. And like you will pull a trash into the boss because the boss's mechanic will buff you that you can clear the trash faster. It's weird shit like that. And it creates this insane level of competitiveness that I think is missing from Guild Wars 2. And I think the competitiveness we create within the game is just memes within ourselves or Grimjack roasting you because you fucked up the dungeon and he's going to just flame you in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And I want to bring that into Guild Wars 2 because, I mean, I have fun doing it, but I know you guys have done it for years. And, I've only been playing the game serious probably about a year and a half now, just under a year and a half, actually.
Yeah, it will be fun, but I mean, in Guild Wars 2, it just kind of doesn't really make any difference, right? That's one of the problems with it. And it kind of, one of the pros of Guild Wars 2 in a way is that you can play how you want, but that's also it's very much a double-edged sword. It means that no matter what you play, it doesn't actually matter that much.
Completely.
And that is not good. And also because the skill floor is quite low, it means that people don't really try, right? There's no motivation for a lot of people to do it, and also people are just kind of burned out, right, on it, I suppose, right? It's very difficult to get a lot of people who really want to try hard this stuff because they kind of been there, done that. You know what I mean? Like it's just not quite there. So I suppose, right, it's a bit rough, and well, I don't understand why people don't want to try in PvP. Actually, I think people are just a little bit kind of bored of it, and I think some of the PvP is a bit AIDS as well. Like I don't mind how PvP plays out in ATs; it's not the best, but getting 5 people who actually want to practice is very difficult. Okay, very hard.
Yeah.
It's always. I've tried. I've been trying for a while now, and it is not working out so hot. I think it's just like it's just like the march of time. Like the game has been out for a very long time. And I suppose people are just a little bit tired with it. And it's difficult for players to get into because the game is very complicated as well. Like the Guild Wars 2 has a very complex systems. I think, and because of it's a twofold problem, right? The game is very casual, and the game is also quite a hard game mechanically speaking. It's quite a difficult game mechanically. So the combination of those two means that PvP is a clown fiesta. Like world versus world. I mean, that's an entire thing. Like world versus world is a bit shit because ArenaNet just refused to balance it. Right? They refuse to balance world versus world. Like the amount of damage stuff does in world versus world, like how power crept the game is, like it's horrible.
I got hit for 32,000 by a berserker rifle hit today. I didn't even know. Like it downed me instantly. I'm like, I don't know what hit me. And then I look at my chart and I'm like, this dude just one-shot me. Then he hit me again for 25,000. I'm like, I have 16k HP. Like, what do you do against that?
Yeah. It's true. World versus world was never really that well balanced, okay? I'm not gonna lie. It's always been a mild clown fiesta. But seriously, like, before it was like you could hear the honking, right, if you got quite close to World vs. World, if you were like a few feet away. But now you can hear the honking from Lion's Arch, dude. Like that's how loud it is now. Like like you go near the mist portal and there are like custard pies coming out of it, right? There's a big clown car running around the borderlands. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous,
I feel like we have such a great foundation in Guild Wars 2. Like the Fractals is such a good foundation. Raids, I mean the raids in this game. I mean I've raided Star Wars: Old Republic. I mean, I've raided Tree of Savior, a little Korean 2D game that I mean, not gonna lie, it has pretty fucking fun raids and good mechanics. But like I've done raids in that, and I've done raids in Final Fantasy 14. I mean, I've set world first, I've done server first, I've done it. But I just feel like here it's like you said, like if they're not gonna allow us to be competitive because it's, you know, mean from the people that, you know, mouth breathe, okay, fine. But let's do something with the community where we have a great API. Like let's figure out what we can use to edit to create our own, you know, I mean Raider.io was created by the community. And I believe the API supported it. If we can do that and we can create our own damn competition with Blackjacks and Hooker, then we can make our own fun teapot, and then I can beat you in the ERP.
Well, and that's why, you know, you have stuff like the Snowcrows monthly competition, which is a great initiative that those guys are doing. You have stuff like the ERP as well for the raid scene as well. And
I'm making a team.
And you have stuff like monthly AT as well. You have monthly AT. You have PvP tournaments that are run by the community, like Jebber runs the Yugo, the Unity Gaming tournament thing. Roy runs tournaments as well sometimes. Does Jaw do anything? Doesn't Jaw do something?
Yeah, he's got ATs and stuff. I think he does.
Yeah. Well, I thought he ran a tournament as well. Maybe he didn't do that. But either way, okay, you have these community run events, and you have that, but it's great, right? I love it. Like one of the things that I'm not sure if this is sad or because it's mine, right? But I am more excited to watch the ERP than actually play Wing 7. Like, no joke, dude. Okay, like the ERP is gonna be intense. Okay, my friends, it will be very, very good, and I hope the community really likes it. No matter how it turns out.
Wing 7 was a bit light.
What? Sorry, Envy, go ahead.
It was a little bit light. It was like a diet wing. Like I've done it, and I went in there like, I mean, to be honest, I was completely blackout. I had already drank about 12 beers or a bottle of wine, and the accent's like, "You want to go do Wing 7?" I don't really remember doing it, and I didn't wipe, but I didn't die, and we killed it all. Like I had the mechanic, did the mechanic. Hey, just do like, I mean, Doom pre-event is more punishing than all of Wing 7. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, Wing 7.
We wiped more on Doom last night than it takes to clear Wing 7.
That's actually true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Because how long did that Doom take yesterday? Actually,
I think about an hour and 45, hour and a half.
Hour and 45.
We had a couple of new people, and we had people DCing a lot. I mean, we had every problem you could think of. But then the Accent and I were playing a pretty good game. That if either one of us were toxic, we had a drink. So the Accent would forget he had a green and wouldn't go up, and then we just die. Then you came in and brought the energy, and look what happened. We killed it.
Yeah, well, my complaint is not that Guild Wars 2 isn't good. My complaint is that Guild Wars 2 is not as good as I believe it should be. Right?
Agreed.
That's my complaint with the game, and I don't really want to go on about it too much. We should talk about something else because a lot of my streams, like to me, it's so obvious, right? You know, it's like whatever I look at in Guild Wars 2, I come to the exact same conclusion. You know, like maybe I've just got to that point where I just need to stop, which is kind of what I'm planning to do, right? But the thing is, when I come back to the game, that's not likely to change because in this thought experiment I have, right? If I had quit the game for 6 months, then I came back to Wing 7 and just to play Wings, I got my team back together. Yeah, bringing all the old boys back, right, to play through the Wing. I think I would feel exactly the same. You know what I mean? I would play through it and go like, wow. I mean, that was kind of fun, but it's still such a waste of potential of the game. It would. I don't think I would feel any different. And if I left the game and came back and started to make an AT team, I think it would still be like a massive fiesta and. Bull's Charge and Rampage would probably still be around. It just seems, it feels, my stream title here is slightly ironic, I suppose. Like, one of my big problems with Guild Wars 2 is that the times are not changing. It's not good. This is pretty classic Has Been Called stream. Next thing to do is watching videos at 80% of the streams. I don't think I'm a big enough streamer to carry that off.
What do you like doing the most right now? Like, if you're like, if I'm coming to EU, I'm transferring to your server. We're about to do something that gets you going, get you hyped. What are we gonna do? What's our perfect date in Guild Wars 2? Jesus.
I am not joking here. I am not joking. My perfect day in Guild Wars 2 is just back-to-back 80s.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
I think the time apart of them is a little bit too much, but I think Ben and I had this conversation that they add too many, They're afraid that it'll just discourage people from doing ranked at all, and will just do AT.
Yeah,
and they want the ranked community to fill in the time in between.
Ranked is hot trash,
Yeah. Well, problem in ranked right now, in my opinion, I really enjoy it. Like, I just queued before I went and did all my errands around the house, cleaned up, and I'm playing this new Mesmer build. I saw Kronos playing. I'm having a blast with it, and we won. It was a good game. Team was communicative. But then you go into the game and you get like a dragon hunter using bow and like traps. And he gets one shot by every class, and he just screams at his team. And he's like, "Well, I was 1v3." Well, you don't need to be over there. They have just absolutely no clue how ranked even works.
You made the key mistake of engaging with the people in your team in rank. You can't do that.
Funny enough, Team USA, I asked them, I was like, "What's the biggest tip y'all can give me for rank?" And then Helio and Naru at the same time really said, "Do not talk to anyone on your team, even if it's going well. Like, just do not type." Because
anything you can say can be used against you and to cause them to AFK. Like, they can just go, you could be like, "Man, you play really well," and he could go, "Fuck you, noob, I'm AFKing now." And then he just AFKs in base. And
there goes
like, God
damn.
I should have kept my mouth shut.
Yeah, I know you were casting the MAT. Did you see the NA one? It was actually like a pretty spicy game. Jebra was casting it, and Grimm's team and Anya and all them came out the gate hot. And everyone was like, "Whoa, like, this is not what we expected." I mean, it really looked like they were taken away with it. Only, unfortunately, just Helio was behind back capping everything and getting all the points to keep him in the game. But, I mean, Grimm and Anya and all of them were just...
How close was it?
Grimm would jump in on his... I mean, they were ahead to like 100 points. And then once they got going, they restructured. They came over, took away the game. But for a while there, I mean, Naru's dead, Toker's dead, Tabitha's dead. I mean, they were just killing people. But Helio was running around getting points. And it looked, I mean, even the chat was like, "Oh my God, this is happening."
That was all part of the plan. They wanted to lure them in to feel like they were ahead, but they weren't.
It was a better watching that than watching Season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Well, that's not saying much, though, is it? I mean,
yeah. True, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. I would probably complain a lot less about the game if I had a team. I just played ATs all day. I don't think if I could play ATs all day, I probably wouldn't do anything else. I really like I like playing with a team. And ranked is really difficult for me because it a lot of the time, even though this isn't true, okay, like, you can always influence the game. Sometimes it just feels like no matter what you do in ranked, there's just it won't help, right? Like, you're still going to lose. Like,
absolutely.
The Guild Wars 2 gods who decide that you have fucking, far at any cost, right, on your team. And I'm not joking, like, that guy's probably pretty good. I was just memeing him. Okay, you have Farbot Supreme, the fucking Spellbreaker,
Supreme.
who just, like, on respawn goes to Far, dies, and just does that the entire fucking game.
Rages in team chat.
Right? And then, like, flames you. Like, I'm 1v2 the entire game! Yeah.
Do something!
Yeah. And I don't know. Like, that's why I don't like ranked, but I do really like ATs. Like, playing cooperatively, I think, is always fun. Even though there are some problems with the game, like Mirage is maybe not that much fun to play against. Yep. Getting hit by, like, the Rock on Rampage, that is unfun as well. If you're playing Rev and you get chain corrupted by Necro, that's probably not that much fun either. Like, even with all of these things, just the act of playing as a team and having a cooperative experience, I think, is actually easily enough to overpower all of that. I would be much more likely to play ranked if you could, if there was, like, in-game voice. That would be so much fun. Oh my God, think how funny that would be. True. Now, never add that ArenaNet, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I think, like, I still believe that Rev and Scrapper are a little hot, but I'm wondering if they both get toned down, where will the meta go? Like, will SD Thief come back in because of DP being so gimped right now? I mean, before you guys in chat that flip out about DP being gimped, like, you can't sway that argument. DP volume's been turned down on it a little bit.
I mean, I don't think Scrapper is really that bad. The trouble with Scrapper is that it's very low skill, high reward. I don't think it's necessarily imbalanced as such, I think Scrapper should be nerfed just because it's too good against bad people. Not necessarily.
That's really exactly that. Like, right? In lower tier games, like on my alt, when I was queuing, like, brand new level 20, there's a Scrapper who just sat on mid. I mean, he was 1v3. just destroying people. And I'm like, this is insane. Like, they can't push him off the node. He's killing them. And it's just a pug stomper. That they're low-level pugs. They can't do anything to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Scrapper is actually that good as solo queue. Like, as duo queue, maybe, but not as solo queue. Because you can't actually kill anything. You can't win 1v1. It's what if you complain about Scrapper being like really strong, I think like the natural logical argument is to say that like Warrior is totally fucking broken, because like Warrior is, yeah, you have to be quite a bit better to survive as well as a Scrapper, and maybe it's not quite as tanky as something like Scrapper, but you can survive and kite extremely well on Warrior, except you also kill everyone as well, so, and you can also be in the team fight and like throw rocks at people. So I don't know, it's like to say Scrapper is it really OP is like, I don't know, like then you've got to say like every actual 1v1er is like completely busted.
Well, I mean, some of the good scrappers just don't die. I mean, when I was in the AT, we got like what, 5th or the MAT, and I mean, I did my job. I didn't die. He didn't get the point, but I literally fought the scrapper the entire game. Like, well, we couldn't kill one another. The whole, I mean, we stopped fighting and started typing to one another. Like, yo, so like.
That's fine though, but wait.
He said, "Welcome to Guild Wars 2."
But who had the point though?
I had the point. Well, he was wasting his time.
Well, then he was just useless. Then he was literally worthless the entire game, and you won, and you were winning easy. So and with Rev, yeah, Rev is a bit too good. But the trouble with nerfing stuff like Rev and all the damage dealer classes, that if you nerf that sort of thing, you're going to end up in a really weird situation where Firebrand Scourge just becomes incredibly obnoxious again. Like, Rev is the necessary counterbalance to Firebrand Scourge. Even though they nerfed Firebrand Scourge a fair bit, if you nerf Rev and all the other damage dealers, suddenly it's back to being a roadblock. Right now, Firebrand Scourge isn't really that much of a roadblock. You can kill it, right? It's killable. Right,
you're seeing comps that didn't run it. That we're winning ATs on NA. They don't even run Scourge or Firebrand. They're running what's his name? Kira. I can't think of his last name. He's got some crazy weeb name. Him and his team run just pure damage. And if USA is not going, they usually win it. They just run so much damage, you can't kill them.
There you go. Too much DPS. So it's more like the game is in like a quite precarious situation right now. Like if you nerf one thing, it might have some quite unintended consequences. It's more like a lot of things need to get toned down simultaneously for PvP.
Yeah, I think damage is just wildly high across the board.
Yeah.
I think Nike was talking about that not long ago, that everything's just doing too much.
Yeah, it's too much. There's a lot of like power creep in the game, you know. It's pretty good. And honestly, it's not Scourge that's the problem. Like, Scourge is actually surprisingly balanced, in my opinion. I think Scourge is okay. It's more like Firebrand. It's more like Scourge combined with the support of Firebrand is like very, very good. But you got to bear in mind, guys, like Firebrand Scourge is not the problem. If you nerf Firebrand Scourge, PvP would become a total clown fiesta. Like, the only thing that's stopping it from basically being like chasing people around the map with like 3 revs is basically Firebrand Scourge, dude. Okay, like you don't want it nerfed, lads. Okay, you don't.
I would like to see something different in World v World. Like, I thought it'd be cool to see. I mean, how cool would it be to see like Tempest becoming pretty meta? You know, say like a push with rebound. I don't know. I'm just thinking out the box, but it does get kind of old seeing the same stuff over and over and over.
Yeah, I don't think it's that good.
Yeah. I was like kind of talking about that last week or whenever. It's just that the game engine isn't set up for them to make radical balance patches like frequently. So they can't really experiment, you know, like they can't like really flip the table and go, we're going to buff this thing to the moon. We're going to nerf this thing into the ground and just see what happens. And if it sucks, we'll change it a month later. And you only have to deal with it for a month, because their production timescale to push a balance patch is 3 months. Like, they can't push a balance patch faster than 3 months, even if they wanted to. So if they break the game, it's broken
for a while,
3 months, or they'll have to do an emergency thing like they've done a couple times, and that just delays the next balance patch by however many weeks. Do you feel
that's why their balance patches are so subtle and not shaking up enough?
Yeah, and because, well, at least as far as PvP is concerned, it's so subtle because they care a lot about PvE balance and making sure the DPS specs all do a similar amount of damage. and that like really is unfortunately. And I mean, I say this as a PvE person who cares about that, but unfortunately, what that means is that their hands are tied when it comes to certain things in PvP because they can't change the PvE balance.
Right. It's not going to happen. Someone else up the line has said, nope, you're not changing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like chat says, does it take more than 3 months to upload stuff to the server? If this was a game with a modern engine, you could change the balance by going into a database, changing a few numbers, and hitting save and compile it, and then upload it, and it would work. And you could do that in one day. But they're not doing. That's not
that
what
kind of
the
goes in
game
line with
is.
what Ben said. Ben had that post where the war claw is seeing that extra skill, and it's been approved. They just have to get in line for getting it put into a patch, and he's waiting for that. So I'm assuming that getting put in line to the patch,
Because
a whole other animal itself.
It's all like because they have all different teams and stuff, and you have to like say, all right, here's the module I want to add to the next patch, and then it gets put in thing, and then like the teams have to compile it into like one big patch. Like it's a whole thing. Like they're just not nimble enough to do what they would need to do.
I wonder if that's behind the scenes. I wonder if that's one of their biggest regrets is not making a brand new engine when they made Guild Wars 2.
I mean, then Guild Wars 2 wouldn't have come out till 2014.
Well, wait, is this the same engine as Guild Wars 1?
Maybe this year.
it's a modified version of the Guild Wars 1 engine, yeah.
I did not know that.
But a lot of the problems, a lot of times when you hear about problems, it's because of the engine. Delays to World vs. World have been because of the engine. There's just a lot of things. And like Teapot said earlier, it is pretty amazing the things they've done in the game because of the engine. But at the same time, it seems like the engine also gives them a major headache a lot of the time.
So, like, here's an example to help chat kind of understand what the problem. A while back, I was suggesting to move burning arrows from warrior tactics to warrior discipline. Like, I was like, move burning arrows to discipline or move burning arrows to arms. Like, either place, it sort of works better than in tactics and makes more sense and would have like been better for warrior. You can't. Any other game, what you would do is you would hit Control C on burning arrows, go up to arms and hit Control V, and then hit save. But that's not how it works in Guild Wars 2. In Guild Wars 2, you delete burning arrows from tactics, and then you have a blank space there. Then you go to arms and delete whatever you were going to delete there. And then you have to rebuild and recode an entire brand new trait from scratch and code it and debug it and make sure it passes QA. It's not they don't have the ability to copy paste stuff like that. They do not. So it's impossible for them to move traits without rebuilding them, which is why you don't see them copy pasting and moving traits around. It's why when they do move traits around, they're not really moving them around. What they're doing is building a whole new version, which is why they're often tweaked with a slightly better design, because they're going back to square one and rebuilding them.
Well, yeah, that certainly does explain why the balance takes a little while to go anywhere. And I do think that something you did touch on a little bit earlier, Nike, is how they kind of balance around RP a little bit, right? They won't. For example, like there's some traits that just like should not exist in World versus World. For example, Lingering Curse, as it stands right now, literally should not exist in World versus World. Honestly, Big Shade on Scourge should never have existed in its current form in World versus World. It is fundamentally. Something like that cannot exist in World versus World, but they won't do anything about it because then they have to delete it in PvE as well. Like they will happily fuck over World versus World, like fist it brutally, okay? But they won't change it because now you won't be able to role play as like a Big Shade in PvE. It's like, like what is this, man? Like, it's not good. It's not.
What's
good.
funny about that is even before it released, I remember us talking on a tea time where you said that Big Shade was going to just destroy World vs. World. And that was more than a year ago, year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
How old is Path of Fire now?
I'm not gonna lie.
So before Path of Fire released, you were talking about how it was going to destroy World vs. World, and everybody knew it was going to happen, and it happened anyway.
I genuinely think that the players could help ArenaNet balance this game, because when they rework Lingering Curse to make Devouring Darkness, right, and it changes your Scepter 3 to an AoE triple boon corrupt, okay, anyone would tell you that shouldn't exist in World versus World. Okay, no, you don't need to be a rocket scientist, right, to tell ArenaNet that should never happen. That will make the game AIDS. And look what happened. The game became AIDS. And it's the same thing for all of these balance changes. The players could tell you it's a bad idea. Okay, just please, I wish it's a bit bloody late. I mean, it's already been Path of Fired, to hell, right? But I wish that in retrospect, ArenaNet had communicated with the player base and talked with the player base more about balancing the game, balancing the players. Yeah, I'm not talking about like random. I'm not talking about random people in World versus World. I'm talking about like actual good people. Okay, if you go and talk to someone, if you go and talk to, let's say, Syndiner in PvP. Yeah, he might be a little bit biased towards Thief, but you don't just talk to him. Then maybe you talk to Boyce as well, okay? Like, he's playing Warrior. Maybe he can give you a better perspective on Thief or another perspective on Thief or something like that. And then maybe you talk to Chunsu about Fire, and maybe you talk to Synod about Scourge, okay? And then you talk to Rom about Soul Beast, right? And Scrapper and Warrior and stuff like that. He plays a bunch of cards. And you talk to Draza as well. Yes, they're going to have individual biases, but you can interpret that and, you can figure out what's actually going on, because they're going to agree on some things. And honestly, a lot of people are very honest. I'm pretty sure that Boyce thinks that Rampage is stupid, okay? And he's like, rank 1 legend warrior, okay? Stuff like that. Like, it's very easy, okay? Now, the raid scene are a bit funny, especially about Elementalists, so that's a bit weird. Okay, they're like, yeah, dude, like, we're gonna nerf Ellie, and Ellie's gonna be useless. Oh, it's still top DPS. Well, never mind then. Maybe it's a bit difficult to talk to the community there, but I don't know. I think some people have, like, realistic understandings of how the balance is. I do think it needs to be a dialogue, and I do think that ArenaNet, one of their biggest mistakes they've ever made is not actually listening to the community. They try to do it on their own and use statistics to balance it. I mean, they did like a statistical balance patch based around Scrapper for World versus World and PvP, I think, and in doing so they created an absolute monster. Okay, like a genuine monster. Balancing this stuff around statistics is a terrible idea. They buffed Tempest, which was already really good in World vs. World, and they buffed Scrapper as well. Now, bear in mind, Scrapper was already meta for GVG, as I understand it, but they made Scrapper so good, it made Condi irrelevant in World versus World. Now, if you guys think
Antitoxin Rune?
Yeah, Antitoxin Rune and Scrapper means that using conditions is actually... guys, I do not use this word often, okay? But conditions in World versus World Zerging are not viable. And I am not even kidding, dude, okay?
So what does Scourge do?
Power. You play power. Yeah.
You literally run Berserker power.
Yeah.
And you listen to this, man. It's crazy. I mean, with Keck, we run a very organized group. We run 20 to 25 people. I'm not saying we're the best, but like we have our helmets on. We're using our brain, and we time a power spike that's so strong. You just see a team of people drop. There's no Condi in it. It's just literally timing all your skills from different classes with pure power, and then if they Condi bomb you, it's off. I'm a firebrand. I don't even cleanse Condis because they're gone before I get the chance to open up my book because the Scrappers cleansed them.
Yeah,
it's dumb.
No.
Like my grieving beer on my Scourge does not get used.
You know what? Honestly, Guild Wars 2 players, the way they cry about Condis, I'm sure most people would rather die to a power spike than like die to Condis over and over again, especially PvPers. Yeah. Like when Condi's good in SPVP, the crying is endless. Like it's literally endless.
It's creeping into the meta right now. I've noticed a lot more people. I did an AT the other day, and it was just Pugs. We did it for the LFG. And the other team we fought was a pure Condi comp, and we didn't know it. So all of a sudden, the Firebrand's Burn Guard, and then the Rev is Condi, the Scrapper is Condi, and I'm overwhelmed. I didn't run enough Condi cleanse, and so 3 of them hit you, you're dead. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, I hate Condi. I hated when Condi Mirage was so popular that it was every single game.
Yeah. I think it's not actually... People aren't upset with Condi, though. It's more like the design of the class. I think people were a bit wrong to blame it on Condi, because like Condi, like, if you get hit by like a 3k burn or something, that's just the same as getting hit by a 3k crit, except you have slightly more counterplay to it. People don't like Condi because you get hit by something, and then you feel like you can't do anything, right, if you don't have a cleanse. But... that's a bit of a weird thing, because power is even worse. Like, if you get hit by like a 5k crit, like a death strike, or more like 8k, because it's rev, right? On rev, you can't cleanse half of that damage. That's on you now. Like, you're dead, right? You're already dead. Or if like the rock hits you, like with fucking rampage, you can't cleanse that. You're dead.
You can't even dodge it. It goes around corners. I threw it on Coliseum the other day. The guy was behind the wall. I hit him. Like it straight up curve, like a homing.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's
good thing. Back to the PMA to bring the PMA.
Yeah,
in.
bring the PMA.
Have you noticed how crazy these events have been with people?
Yeah, dude.
Like I've had my game straight go to desktop because there's been too many people on the map, and I'm like, what is going on?
This is a big thing that's very much a good topic of discussion, actually. Like the amount of engagement that ArenaNet is getting from these events, it's honestly better. It must be just as good as like Living Story. Like they get so many people through the door when they have these events, man. It's absolutely ludicrous. Like,
it feels better because it's a community thing as opposed to Living Story, which is an instance
solo content. Right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Or even the Living Story maps, which are generally solo content played in an open.
I mean, these maps. I'm on the map right now, gathering currency. Like they hurt me. But no, I noticed that there is. I watched the last developer World stream, and Ben and Ray were playing, and they said that no one has guessed the new event coming to World v World that one of their team members has created. That they don't know the concept yet. So there's a special World v World and/or PvP event coming out that no one has accurately guessed what it's going to be. So it's not the no down state, but it's another thing. I don't know what it's going to be, but they're excited for it. They think it's interesting. I'm excited for it because if it's the first time No Downstate came out, that was a damn blast. Second time, it's just a whole bunch of soldiers running around, and you can't even leave your keep.
I like No Downstate. I don't know about a whole week of it, but I like it for at least a little while.
Yeah, I have no idea what it's going to be, but I'm sure it will be interesting. And one thing that was speculated, but it turns out, I think it got said somewhere in Twitch chat that it's not going to be this. I thought it was going to be core balance, right? So they revert it so you can only play core classes. That would be so good. Okay,
that'd be great.
Oh man, like World versus World. The easiest way to fix World versus World is probably just make it core. Actually, like set it to.
That'd be great. And then you could play defensive Guardian to carry everyone. Power Guardian to actually kill people, and then like heal Guardian to like keep people's health up, and you wouldn't have to play any other classes.
Then release a Guardian outfit.
You need
Necro
in
the gym.
You need Necro though. Like no Necro, no win. Like you don't have the Boon Corrupt. It's over. Oh, that's the thing. Like dude. Oh, you're still not free. Even if they make it core, okay, you still have fucking lingering curse for like the mega corrupt on people. Like there's no escape, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, you cannot escape.
Core Necro was good.
Yeah. Core Necro is Core Necro is actually pretty good for 1v1 as well. Actually, like it's quite strong. It's surprisingly good. It wins a lot of 1v1s because it's just so tanky. Like Core Necro is really really tanky as well. Core Rev has Hammer. Yeah. The thing is about Hammer Rev though, like Hammer Rev is only good because you don't play like full melee. If you played full melee, like Hammer Rev wouldn't be that good. It's just too, and if it was core, you'd probably just be like running at each other. It would be great. But yeah, these events are fantastic. I really hope ArenaNet will keep them up, but I definitely think they will because I know they like statistics, and if they're looking at those stats, I mean, the amount of engagement they're getting is huge, and so all they have to do is sell something on the gem store that's vaguely relevant, and they just they just rake in the cash, right? That's just
look at that new costume. Dude, that costume had been out 30 minutes, and I went into the PvP mist. There was just people walking around. All these people had it on already, and I'm like, they are just printing, and it's a good costume. I'm not, and people don't like it, but like I think it looks great. I mean,
okay, I don't want to be too cynical and too negative here, but Like, that costume, like, to me, signals literally everything that is wrong about Guild Wars 2, okay? Like,
How?
because that is like an amazing skin. Honestly, one of the very few outfits that I would ever consider spending money on. It's a legitimately godlike outfit.
And the weapons are nice.
I'm gonna expose. I actually might buy it. In fact, guys, someone buy it for me now because I don't want to buy it. But no joke, dude. Okay, that is better than legendary armor.
Yes, it looks ridiculously cool.
Okay, but where is it? Envy? Is it for beating the hardest raid boss? Is it for being really highly rated in PvP? Is it for getting 250,000 kills in the Mist War in World versus World? No, it's for fucking real money.
Well, we need I'm gonna be the opposite on this. We need some things in the market board that are or the cash shop that are so good that don't affect anything. It's literally just like a blue scarf, whatever, that make people open their wallet and buy to support the game, because that'll keep the game going. That keeps people's salaries. That keeps development dollars. And if Big Papa NCSoft sees money coming in because these cool skins are coming out, maybe we get some more raids. Maybe we get some more stuff.
One thing they've never put in the gem store that like PoE does is changing the skin of skills. So your 100 blade animation is a new animation. Like it's not the same. Like the legendary is still the same animation, just with like different particle effect. I mean, like literally change the animation to something else. Like same cast time, so you don't fuck with balance, but it just like looks like you're doing something else, and it has like a radically different look.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
I said the same thing too about changing the skins of the necromancer pets or the ranger pets.
Like, imagine Meteor Shower for Ellie didn't just drop meteors. You could buy a skin that made it drop like fucking skulls or snow.
That'd be so good. I didn't
you
think
could
about
roleplay as an ice mage, and you're dropping ice.
Yeah. That would be edgy.
But you could seriously charge a lot of gems for that, though.
Yeah,
that could be a high dollar chain.
Monetization thing that they are just like missing out.
That's probably
that
might be difficult for them to do, though, I guess.
Yeah, because they have an ancient game engine that you can't tweak.
Structured PvP players would cry, but you would just put on default mode and it would turn all that stuff off.
It won't work in PvP because none of that stuff does. Like, look at ghostly infusions, all those infusions, they don't work in PvP. They keep it clean. But with these events being so successful, I really do hope they bring one to SPVP in the form of getting people to do tournaments. Like, all the time, I'll ask some friends that are new to the game or people on stream, like, yeah, it's an AT. Like, oh, I have no idea how to do it. I feel that ArenaNet is so hands-off that a lot of these people that are so used to MMOs, that are so hands-on, get kind of like trapped and don't have the either internal Nike, you said this the other day, the internal like drive, they want to do it themselves. They don't want to figure it out. They literally want the game to tell them, this is how you do it, go here, click this button. If it's not going to do it, then they don't do it.
It does do that. It's literally right there. Like, you make a group and you press enroll. Like, the AT system is so good. Like, this is why ArenaNet like kind of annoy me, because they're so good at doing stuff when they actually do it. It is really easy to play an AT, and you do see a fair few people like LFGing for it and stuff. I guess people who don't
there's
know about
other
them,
modes you log in, and it's like you need to log in and make a tournament team. Click here, go here, and like it forces you to do it until like you say no, I don't want to do it.
I mean, are people really that stupid?
Oh yes. Absolutely. People complain about irons burning them because they iron their clothes with them on. That actually happened.
What the fuck?
I mean, people are really dumb.
What?
Like, people complain to an iron company because they burn themselves with the iron because they iron their clothes while wearing them. So the iron now had to say legally, you cannot iron your clothes while wearing them. Like, people are the R word. They're just idiots. They're absolutely idiots.
Wow.
So you have to hold their hands.
With the heart.
Yeah, you have to hold their hands
that
much.
Sounds like a great streaming goal. We'll iron clothes while wearing them. Teapot will iron his clothes while wearing them. 600 subs, guys.
I don't want to talk about that. Like, maybe if they buy stuff more in the gem store, it will give us more raids. I mean, I would be inclined to agree with you, but like, all the evidence stacks up against that. Like the gem. In my opinion, like, the gem store has been like. I want to do this for a video I'm planning on making, guys. Does anyone know roughly the proportion of skins in the game to skins on the gem store? Because I guarantee you there are way more skins in the gem store than there are in the game. Like, easily. I know for a fact there are
Somebody-
more like there are more weapon skins. Like Black Lion skins outnumber all the other skins by quite a large margin, I think, right? But I would completely agree with you, and I want to believe, Envy. I want to believe that buying stuff on the gem store, okay, makes you get more content. But that's obviously not the case, because we still get a raid every numbers, even though like they are milking the community hard with mount skins, these outfits, right, all that stuff.
New mount skin comes out too.
I mean, I like Black Lion keys, Envy. You know, people know that, you know, this is something that I have an addiction to. I have a problem, okay? But at this point, I've stopped doing it because I know that there's no point in... my money is effectively going to Living Story, right? And honestly, I don't want my money to go to Living Story. That's not something I have any interest in supporting, right? That's where it's going, okay? Like if you spend money on the gem store, just because I play raids... it doesn't mean that's going to go towards raids, right? It's just going to... I like my surprise mechanics. Well, I don't like shitty loot boxes, but I think Black Lion keys are actually pretty good, to be honest. Like if you want something in them and you haven't unlocked the skins, they're actually... Dude, I got the Hydra staff last time. That's fucking sick. I like the Hydra staff. It's good shit. You know what?
Yeah, how often do you use that Hydra skin?
I don't use it ever because I just I don't really care enough, you know?
I really want to see them. I want to see a PvP, SPVP event that is so popular that the mist is like, you have to like, I mean, people could anchor to different mists. Like, it's that popular. I mean, back in the day, you had people that, remember the old mist that you could PvP and practice against a little... I remember that. They changed it.
The only... I mean, they could do that if they, let's say, made the rewards, like, insane. You know, they'd have to make... But they're all... Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Envy, right? Like, PvP is actually, like, sleeper OP. In the same way that Deadeye... By the way, guys, like, Deadeye is, like, sleeper disgusting in PvP, by the way. Okay? But... making money in Guild Wars 2 PvP is like the easiest shit ever. Like, even though the rewards are absolutely insane for PvP, people still don't do it. Okay, they still don't want to play. It's because like players in Guild Wars 2 are inherently against the idea of competition. Like, open world is easy, it's no effort, it's zero effort, there's no fucking energy. Okay, and the rewards. Honestly, the rewards were worthless. Okay, these little boxes they gave you, you're not going to get the Chak Egg set, guys. You're not getting that shit. You're not. Okay, but people still did it because it's easy, it's free, and it's new, right?
Yeah, the competition thing is pretty funny. This week, they made the official announcement that there will be a 4th Javelin skill coming to the Warclaw. The comments, were so good. Like, I felt energized and sustained off the tears of the casual players who said, "Oh, great, now that Ganker's going to knock me off the mount. You guys are just cannibalizing your own game mode." And I'm like, what? Are you complaining that someone in a PvP realm on a PvP map is engaging in PvP? Like, what? There's no logic to that. I don't know. I don't get it, man. Where's the logical complaint on that?
Yeah,
like,
it is very weird.
You can dodge it, by the way. Like, it's dodgeable. Just dodge, forehead.
Yeah, just dodge.
No, that ruins my experience. I just want to run in there, not engage anybody, and stand on a node and get...
Exactly.
Yeah, like the guy who posted on the Reddit, people that are attacking me when I'm just trying to kill the veteran daily and World v. World are wrong. No, they're not.
No, you're a free kill.
Yes.
Yeah, like I said, this is in a way, this is because of the warped perspective that so many people have in Guild Wars. So now this is where Envy, you were talking about how you kind of have to force people to do this sort of thing, and how ArenaNet is far too hands off. And this is where you're completely right. You're 150 IQ, right? Because the Guild Wars 2 community is never forced to interact with other players. For most people, Guild Wars 2 is a single player game, right?
Yeah.
True,
absolutely.
And this
or just like one friend they hang out with and just do stuff together with.
I believe this is actually a fundamental flaw in the design. I think it is almost impossible to keep player versus player game modes intact at the same time as having that kind of attitude, right? Whereas you don't have to interact with people. Right, it's very difficult. It's really
they need to start gating stuff behind
interaction
content that is exactly. If there's a new mount skin or there's an in-game item you want to go get, like example, Vision. I like it. I like the effect. I'm all for it. I'm all in. And I was not going to make the sky scale because I didn't see a reason to get it. Now here I am. I've got a sky scale and I'm actually enjoying it because they put a carrot behind it. And so now I had to get that to get Vision. And then also, if you don't have the Griffin, you now have to get the Griffin to get it. So they're putting, a shiny thing or quality of life or a nice skin behind these items. Do that with PvP. Make the next legendary ring behind ranked PvP. Ooh, behind ATs. You have to have completed 2 monthlies. Oh, now people are just going to be crying. And I'm going to love it because I'm going to go do it because I enjoy PvP and I will do, the content that these little. I can't believe people don't like PvP. To me, I get it. I don't like soda. Some people like it. I don't like orange juice. You fucking bleed off that stuff. But I don't know. I think PvP and MMOs goes hand in hand. It's been around since the beginning. I mean, shit. You can go back. Look at what's that game? RuneScape looks terrible, and people are still PvPing in it.
Yeah, because guess what? That's player-driven content, right? Player-driven content is what keeps games alive. Another great example, perhaps not quite as old-fashioned looking as RuneScape, but EVE Online. EVE Online is completely driven. It's fully driven. Also, I mean, Envy, we got to talk about the orange juice thing. If you don't like orange juice, you need to.
I don't know. I like pineapple juice. I like, I don't. I just orange juice to me. It just gives me. I don't know. Okay. I'm not a fan.
All right. Okay.
My buddy used when I went to live in Atlanta, I went to the clubs every weekend because my buddy owns them, and they bring you to the table OJ, Sprite, a soda, and pineapple juice and cranberry juice with the vodka and whatever you're drinking. And every time that I accidentally made a drink with OJ, I think it was pineapple, I literally I just died inside a little bit.
Okay.
And I like almost anything. I mean, I'll eat and drink almost anything, but can't do that.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe
You like pickles? Fuck yeah, I love pickles. Spicy pickles with the crunch.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I like orange juice, but it's okay. I'm not about that. I live on that. I've got my shrine to orange juice.
I was talking to you last night, and you're like, "I'm gonna get some OJ. I don't feel so well. I'm gonna go get in bed."
Yeah. I see why you wanted to get rid of me now. You get rid of the heathen, get rid of the orange juice, man. Okay. All right. Okay. I see how it is.
If we can direct this company to putting these wildly successful events into World v World, into SPVP, into raids, make a damn raid event. Get people that have I have no idea where that Aerodome is.
Yeah, I think that's sort of my position is in that they need to. They're great. I'm glad they're getting the community to rally behind the Shadow Behemoth event in Queensdale. And getting good numbers, that's great that people are actually turning out for that utterly shit content. Amazing that they can get people to show up for that. Why not focus people towards your end game content, which is what you should be encouraged. The entire game should be a treadmill that carries you to the end game. Make the events encourage people to play the end game. Fractals, World v World, PvP tournaments, raids. That's the end game. That literally is the end game. The events should all be focusing on getting you to the end game, not getting you back to Queensdale to auto attack till the poorly designed world boss dies.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it could be done as well. Now, I don't know. The thing is about raids is that if you do this, most people just cannot do it, man. Because look, Nike, you should tell us a fun story about this because you're really good at this. You always talk about how people have the RP headcanon carrion greatsword mesmer,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So even if you have an event for raids, the whole play how you want fucking cancer, it just ruins it. I'm very much a play how you want kind of guy, right? But look, guys, you need to have some kind of thing that your boss is, your build is doing, right? Okay, you can play something a bit odd, I don't know, Plague Doctor Scourge. If you want to
there has to be an internal logic to what you're doing.
Yeah. You can play something slightly off kilter, like Seraph Firebrand, kind of Condi DPS hybrid Firebrand. That's fine, okay, but it's not the same thing as trying to play Carrion Longbow Ranger. Okay, that is not. No, you can't do that, right? Okay, you can even well, they actually killed Heal Warrior. Heal Warrior got destroyed, right? That's gone now. But you used to be able to play. I mean, you probably could get away with it now, to be fair, actually. But one way or another, right? An in-game notification for raids, they will never do that. They don't. ArenaNet will never tell their people how to play. It's fucking sad, actually.
No, remember. I'm sorry to interrupt, but remember when? I think ArenaNet retweeted.
Oh, the SC.
Was
oh, dude.
Oh, God. Those
they
comments
retweeted
were
one
so
of the.
good.
Yeah, they retweeted because they needed help with the site or something. I don't know if it was Snow Crows or if it was somebody else, but one of
It
the
was Snow
raid,
Crows.
Yeah,
right?
it was SC.
And
Yeah.
people were just all they did was retweet them, and they gave ArenaNet. They went
Oh,
up and down on them. It was bad.
That was on a TeaTime. I read it. It was some girl. She goes, ArenaNet, I trusted you. This is not the behavior we need to be showing to the community. And I was like, what? This chick is crazy. Like, people can do raids and enjoy raids. People can be the best PvP or the most toxic, and that's okay because they are people too. And that's in an MMO. It's a massive multiplayer online game that people do different shit. Just because you want to go catch wildlife with your bow ranger doesn't mean that Teapot can one-shot someone on Boon Rip Scourge. I hate that they think it's like they literally gatekeep the game more than we do.
Yeah.
Say it the other way. Say it's not true. It is.
I mean, I don't think they gatekeep. They just don't. Players just don't understand what is required, and the player base is incredibly entitled. You know, like the player base is very entitled in playing exactly how they want to play. They think that they should be able to play any fucking build, but even worse, they think that they're doing well. Okay, on certain builds, right? Like you'll see these people saying like, "Oh yeah, my DPS is fine," and they're doing like 5k DPS, right? You know, it's like it's fucking worthless, right? I don't know. I think the only way you have to do this, so you do an event. And you have to have an easy mode, right? You have a story mode.
Yeah.
It's the only way you're going to get people through the door because I don't think you can change the way the community is right now.
Sure.
Once the genie's out of the bottle, you can't undo it. For example, in LFR, can you imagine if they like removed LFR, for example? Like, it would be very bad, okay? Like, the community would be very upset. Yes, LFR is, like, completely brain dead, but a lot of people probably use LFR, you know? If they only use the harder difficulties, there'd probably be a lot of outcry for it, you know? Because of the way it's like, once you have that situation where the community is like this, you can't uncommunity it, right? Like, it's permanent now. Like, you have the like, ultra toxic casualness, okay? It's very difficult to go back on that. Like, realistically, if we wanted to do it, and this could be done, like, as I understand it, something like this, well, it could be done, but every single content creator for raids would have to band together and like actually make a coordinated effort to fix it. It could be done. It absolutely could be, but everyone would have to band together and like work their fucking ass off. Like, you'd have to have like Guild Wars 2 as your actual job, okay, to unfuck what's happened to the community. Okay? Yeah.
Deroyer can do it. You leave Deroyer alone.
No. You need to have a coordinated effort by the entire raid scene to fix it. Because I don't think ArenaNet want to, and to be honest, in a way, I am really torn about this because I love the design of how raids are in Guild Wars 2 and how Guild Wars 2 is. I love the freedom. One thing that I really enjoyed playing through Guild Wars 2 for the first time is the fact I could do whatever I wanted, right? Is that I can take whatever path. And yeah, I'm a kind of player who likes to actually read my tooltips and figure out what the buttons do, but it turns out that most players in Guild Wars 2 aren't.
Yeah, I can't read.
So you can't even read, okay? You can't even read.
Nope. I'm still, I mean, the game hasn't told me how to move, so I'm still stuck at the loading screen.
Do you remember the video of that?
It actually does tell you how to move when you're in Queensdale. When you first load in, it tells you how, like on a new character, it like tells you how WSAD works.
Yeah, but you have to move forward first in order for that to happen, for it to pop up.
Yeah.
So if you just stand there, it doesn't pop up.
There was one video. I wonder if anyone has this. Does anyone have this video? There was one guy who did a review of Guild Wars 2, and do you know the Swannings? Okay,
Yes,
yeah, and he was just, it's a video of him like standing at the very start of the game. Okay,
yeah, that's the meme.
And he literally says that the game tells you, the game tells you nothing. You know, like so, you know, is it fun to play Guild Wars 2? No, there's nothing to play. It tells you nothing. Okay, and this got posted on the forums at some point, and it was like he didn't even like move. He didn't even WASD, right? Because he claimed that it didn't tell him, even though it does. It shows him where to go and shows him how to move and stuff like that, right? But I'm pretty sure he was trolling.
He was it was a good troll. He was pretty serious about it.
But yeah, yeah, he does this with a lot of games. Like he pretends to like be so retarded that he can't even like get through the tutorial for a lot of these games. Like does troll reviews. But yeah,
The sad thing is, like, that's like not the farthest. It's not like he's trolling, but there's people that generally are not trolling with that same like.
Oh yeah, there's.
I mean,
opinion.
Teapot, there's people I've played with that have come over from other MMOs that struggle to dodge. Like, here's a mechanic you have to dodge it, they can't do it. Like, never successfully out of 100 tries. And that's just their skill level.
Yeah.
And that's why I think, like, we have to have, like in WoW, like LFG, like, you get the stacking buff. I mean, I've had it to where the groups are so bad. People are just, like, not even attacking. We have, like, 5 stacks of the buff. Like, you're god tier strong. Like, you could, like, solo the boss. And it just dies because eventually you just overpower it. We could have a system like that.
They should just make all the raid bosses like the starting instance boss. It just dies on its own. You don't actually have to hit it or
Yeah,
anything.
that's good. That'll be good.
Just slowly dies down on you, and you just
I like
just
that.
live long enough.
Yeah, feels good. That'll be good. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Yeah, Brazil told me, like, this is the one that I'm not even sure if I believe. Okay, Brazil said that he had a player who came to the game. For a start, he didn't even know you could dodge. He was well, no, that's not true. He knew he could dodge, but he thought the only way you could dodge was by clicking the endurance bar. Was the only way to dodge, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I could believe that. I could believe that.
He also had no idea about, like, armor breaking, so he was running around naked with his inventory fully full, and he had no idea how to sell items or do any of that. And he was just, like, running around naked, clicking to dodge.
I don't know if I believe.
What a time to be alive.
Clicking to dodge, I believe, but the running around with, like, inventory full doesn't seem.
You know what's funny is I would bet that a lot of people don't realize that you can click that bar to dodge.
That's true.
Yeah,
It's one of the.
I didn't know you could do that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can. You can skill click dodge if you want to.
We can skill click dodge, but we still can't get proper rank. Okay.
Yeah.
See where their loyalty lies.
Yeah, double tap as well is a thing.
Yeah.
If you have it
do you want to be? Yeah.
Double tap's automatically enabled, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on by
Or
default.
no?
Yeah. It's default.
yeah. I remember when I disabled double tap to dodge. It was the very first time I did the harpy fractal, and you had to do that little jumping puzzle, and the harpies are shooting at you.
Yeah.
And, like, I double tapped to dodge. Like, I was trying to jump from, like, one platform to the next, and, like, double tapped W or something like that, and just dodged off the platform and died. And I'm like, okay, turning that off. Never
Yeah.
gonna use that again.
I've definitely done that before.
Yeah, it can happen. Can happen. You can always click your way to World vs. World rank 10,000. Yeah, I mean, the first person to get World vs. World rank 10,000 in Guild Wars 2, they were just, like, farming Edge of the Mist, like, 18 hours a day until they got it. I remember seeing this guy. I think they were called something like Funny Sunny Bunny. That was their name or some shit. They would just, like, go around Edge of the Mist, every booster enabled, grinding 18 hours a day. I think it was.
Man, that sounds so fun. I'm gonna reinstall. I gotta get in the game and do that.
I think it was. I think it was actually a bit naughty. I think there was some, like, account sharing going on there as well. I'm not sure if that's true though, so I won't say that's 100%.
Oh, you don't say.
Sounds like BDO.
Yeah, I'm not.
And now he can sell that account for literally dozens of dollars on the black market. Like
Dozens.
Like he can really recoup the losses of time there.
Yeah, it's high energy, right? That's
they talked about Edge of the Mist on stream this week. Said that it served a purpose for overflow into from World v World queues, and then it gave players, like, another way to, like, get into the world or whatever. And then now that it's not really needed, it just kind of sits there.
Did they give a reason as to why they initially developed it?
That they said the reason was it was an overflow map for people that were queuing into World v World. That's what the answer I was given.
Because
You not remember that? Ain't
China.
Like,
Oh, it's because of China, though.
yeah.
They were developing for China, and the Chinese developer, Kong, whatever the name is, I'm sorry, I don't know it, said that their players, you would have to have an overflow type map because their players would not wait in a queue for World vs. World. And so that's why they had to actually, I think it took them almost like a year or something to come up with that. They had to go back and design it and have it released for China.
Well, that is unfortunate, I guess. But I mean, it wasn't the worst idea because, there were, queues were a thing. I do think the mistake was they didn't allow. Well, it's such a weird thing, right? Like
They should have forced you once your queue popped to leave.
They rendered it. It's more that I think they rendered it obsolete when they added pips. to the game, right? Now there is literally no reason to ever play World versus World in Edge of the Mist. Like, if you do, you're actively screwing yourself over and like actively getting fucked with
But
a lack of
there's
rewards, right?
achievements I don't have in there.
I mean, that's true, but you get less reward track and you get no
Yeah.
pips whatsoever. There is no reason to do that. Like, fortunately, you don't really need to not be in Wolves anymore because the queues aren't that bad a lot of the time.
Right. Yeah.
But still not ideal. Like,
Dude,
we
that's
have to
back in the
remember
day with the
too-
fear walls. Those were the days, man.
We have to remember too that when they were building this for China, World vs. World was a lot more alive, and there were a lot more queues, and queues were a legitimate complaint. You know, it's kind of like when they add the War Claw and everybody queues up for a week. That's what it was like on a daily basis originally. So it was a legitimate concern that these people would have to wait in the queue. Not nowadays, but back then, you know.
Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it is indeed true. I mean, it was a good idea. I don't have a problem with Edge of the Mists. I just think that again, like all things with ArenaNet, like the idea, it gets made, it gets pushed out, it gets shipped, it gets dropped, right? And that's just just
ignored.
Just like the entire guild system. It would be funny if the guild in Guild Wars got completely dropped. That would be a bit weird, wouldn't it? If Guild Wars had nothing to do with guilds, you know? I don't know.
Well, it's funny they know this too because like they were so reluctant to like add certain features like the DPS golem because they said like we are going to struggle to maintain this. Like it's going to be a struggle to keep it updated and maintained. And now as far as we know, like the DPS golem is like some employee's side project that they do like off the clock, like to maintain it. So like that's the problem is they just don't have the resources to maintain the old systems unless they're like super important.
Yeah, it sucks. I suppose there's not much that can be done about that. Well, one thing that is certainly lacking, we can complain about this forever. It's never gonna fucking change, right?
Every MMO has that. Every MMO has dead like modes that were once relevant or dead things that were systems that were once relevant and weren't.
How many?
But I would say that your guild system in an MMO should not be one of the dead things that sees no development. Like, that's one system that you probably shouldn't let slip through the crack.
Yeah, it's, the core social structure of your game, leaving that to rot. And when was the last guild update, actually? HOT, right?
Yeah, HOT. Well, I mean, they added a guild hall,
yeah.
But
like proper update, right? It's been since HOT. And when did HOT come out? When did it come out?
2014, 15?
Oh my god. Okay. Ooh.
Am I right? I'm not sure. I remember my account got stolen from someone in Indonesia when it came out.
Nice. That's good. Yeah.
My original account is gone.
Nice.
Feels bad.
Yeah.
I bought gold from your original account. The guy gave me a cracking deal.
That's
great.
I guess it really goes to show you like where ArenaNet's like design priorities are. Like the social aspect of the game, player-driven interactions, player-driven content. It's just not even on the menu, right? At all when it comes to Guild Wars 2, which is sad. It's why the game can feel alive and simultaneously completely dead at the same time. You can look around and there are so many people playing, but people just aren't interacting with each other at all. Like it's so fucking scary. Like I view Guild Wars 2 as like the meme, like the family gathering and everyone's looking at their phones. It's what Guild Wars 2 is. It's fucking horrible. It's like the dystopian future people see where no one talks to each other. I'm sitting across the table from someone, I send them a fucking text instead of just saying hello, how you doing? It's oh man, imagine if we conducted tea time solely by just typing to each other and typing
just
in
by
Twitch
typing.
chat.
Yeah, no
just by
talking.
typing. No talking, no actual human interaction. It's really
what I was going to say was I can't think of another MMORPG where they just let the guilds have zero meaning or have zero, I guess, development. Guilds are essential to players continuing to play an MMO. When your guild leaves, when you lose your friends in a game, you're done. You're moving on to the next MMO. In fact, most people follow them from MMO to MMO. So
they can also ruin MMOs too. They ruin BDO.
Yeah,
That's why the game had a downfall.
certainly guild drama can kill a guild as well, but generally that's what's going to keep you playing through the rough spots,
Mm-hmm. And BDO, like, say Inks, you're the GM of a guild, we're all in your guild, and we take, like, say, like, Istan, like the main Palawala, whatever area is like a keep you can capture, right? And you get to hold it for the week as long as you defend it the next week, and you get money from it, you get benefits. Well, you can do that, but if no one's going to build and fight you, you could all drop that guild, join another guild, and go take another keep, and then pay yourself out from both guilds. And you could do this 3, even 4, and your guild gets so much money, and money's everything in that game, that you get so much stronger that no one can catch you. You are literally you are god tier.
Yeah.
And they never fixed it and never said it was an exploit. And like we did it. Like at one point we realized we were killing our own server. We quit doing it. We literally were ruining it. We would be fighting 4 different keeps with just 100 people against half the server and shit on them because they couldn't touch our gear. And I was like, this is actively ruining the game, and they still have never fixed it. It's still a thing. It's insane. You can't do it anymore? Well, I mean, now all you do in BDO is just pay someone else to play your account while you sleep.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
BDO. I've heard very mixed things about BDO. Some people love it, some people hate it. I hear that about everything though. Like some people tell me that ESO is like, dude, you gotta play ESO, man. You gotta play that shit, man. Then some other people tell me it's like complete dog shit. I should never play it. I'm very.
ESO is actually bad. BDO is great to a point. BDO is like amazing to a point, and then they drop the ball. And like even the veterans will agree with that. Like they did life skills, very fun. They did a lot of stuff. It's systems I've never seen in any other MMO. They've done so well, and then all of a sudden, a lot of it becomes like meaningless. And it's like all that matters is just grinding the best place in the game because your gear is so good that nothing makes money like that. And every hour you're asleep, you're falling behind. So people actually pay people from other countries to log on their account and play for them. Like sometimes I whisper to my friend that answer back in Russian. I'm like, oh, okay, that's not them. Like, someone's driving their account. I mean, it's like Teapot. I've seen friends that have spent $200,000. They've shown me their balance, $200,000 on the game.
Why?
In like 16 months. And then they still weren't even that geared. Someone else had better gear because they got lucky. It had so many broken
$1,000.
Good money.
Oh, dude, I've seen personally myself, like one weekend I spent like $1,000 like buying stuff, and then you combine gear together to upgrade it, and it failed, so I had nothing. It literally went to dust. $500. I would lit it on fire. I went to bed.
What?
I literally just went to bed, but it failed. I turned off my stream.
I would rage quit and hate my life.
That doesn't sound like very good game design. Okay, that doesn't.
No,
sound
it's
good.
terrible. There's no bad luck protection. You get a fail stack, dude. Fail stacks mean shit. I've seen people get the rarest item on 0 stacks, and I've seen people fail it on 350 stacks. Like there's no rhythm to it. When the game got hacked, or their data got accidentally leaked into the game, they found out that like the horoscope you pick at the beginning of the game had some sort of RNG time window attribute to it, and no one could confirm if it was turned on or not.
Oh my
So
God.
when you enhance, depending on your horoscope and like what time of day it was in the game, it mattered. Like what? But yes, every Korean MMO is like that, just to different points. Like even that little Tree of Savior game is very similar to that.
Well, everybody likes surprise mechanics, and they're very ethical.
Yeah, it's good. Those surprise mechanics, I do like that shit. I'm more likely to buy this outfit if I could get it by Blackline Keys. Can I get it through Blackline Keys? By the way, I don't think I even can.
No.
What the fuck?
Probably not now.
Can I get it with? Can I get it with statuettes? Can you get it with statuette? No, you can't. You can't get the current stuff, can you? Oh, what the fuck? This is bullshit. I'm just looking now. Are there any outfits?
It actually looks really good and it dies really good.
Yeah.
I've seen people have like a bright red, a black, a white.
Yeah, actually, I'm just going to do obligatory meme here, seeing as Brazil isn't here. Legendary armor still isn't fixed, by the way. It still doesn't die properly. Okay, just saying.
They forgot.
Yeah, they forgot. Yeah, they forgot indeed.
The truth is, it's just not important to them, but they forgot.
Yeah. feels bad.
Yeah, did you play Arcade?
Well, what's the problem
No,
is the project
I wish I had that
doesn't
actually.
work for ArenaNet anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, the Legendary Armor, ArenaNet Paul was the project manager for Legendary Armor, and he doesn't work there anymore. So
Yeah.
I guarantee it didn't get put on anyone else's desk.
Right.
It's gone. It is gone. Yeah, they're not. It's not gonna fix it now. They're just gonna like pretend it doesn't exist. That's what ArenaNet does. Unfortunately, with stuff that they can't.
It's an old
they don't
system. They
fix.
can't afford.
Yeah.
to
Well,
maintain.
they can't even do it though. That's the thing. Like, I really feel for ArenaNet on this. Like, because I think one of the main problems they have is, are you guys familiar with Warhammer 40,000? Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, that's fun.
What has happened in the 40k universe, right, is that because of some bad things that happened, the technology, it's a bit of like a technological dark age in a way, right? Or like a period of regression. So that, like, you know, like the Emperor's throne that keeps the Emperor alive and keeps humanity not being eaten by chaos. Like, the people who maintain it, they don't really know how it works. You know, like they're kind of like, it's this ancient, like, mysterious technology. They're not really sure how to fix it or how to maintain it. That's kind of like what Guild Wars 2 is, if you ask me. You know, it's like they have this like amazing machine, and like all the devs are kind of looking like, what the fuck does that do? You know, like, what is that? Like, what's going on there? It's because not many of the developers who actually made the original systems are actually there anymore, right? So that it's very difficult to deal with all this legacy code. I mean, this is a real thing, guys. Like, talk to people in the industry. Like, legacy code is like as you can imagine, it's like, you know, it's a complete fiesta. But imagine if your entire game is legacy code. then you've got some serious issues, I imagine. So it's a bit confusing. You know, dungeons got dropped because nobody knows how they work at ArenaNet. Like, I'm not even joking, guys. Like, as I understand, that's what happened with dungeons. They didn't do any more dungeons because nobody knows how to make them or to fix them or to do anything. Like, they legitimately don't understand. Okay. Yeah. There you go. That's why this stuff is kind of not working out.
You know what's going to happen the day that, like, a dungeon breaks, like, in some irreparable way?
Ooh.
They're not going to fix it. They're going to put a big rock in front of the entrance to the dungeon, and it's going to say, like there was an avalanche, and now we can't get into the Cathedral of Flames. Like, that's what's going to happen. Like, that's the solution when that happens.
Deep, I have a clip for you to watch. Watch that clip of me and beating up.
Okay,
that's me. My soul is leaving my body in that clip. That's the day I quit.
Oh my god. Oh, here we go.
I literally quit that day. I was so mad.
Okay.
You see the item just disappear?
I'm ready for it to happen. Okay.
Just watch my reaction.
Okay, here we go. Enhancement. Okay, there we go. Oh.
Gone.
Yeah.
Look at me just... That, like, to get that's like grinding Aurora. At the time, that was making Aurora and Vision at the same time, combining them to make like the combined thing, and it failing, and they're both gone. To do it all over again.
Nice. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Sounds
that's why I quit the game. That's we could be dealing with that. That's why I say, like, when I'm playing Guild Wars 2, I always play this game thinking, like, this is actually the lesser of all evils out there. I think it's a really great game. It has its problems, but it has a lot of really stuff it's doing right. Like, I mean, shit. Like, I am enthralled with, you know, how fun World v World can be, how fun SPV can be, how great raids are, and so while we have a lot of shit, and a lot of problems, still a lot of fun compared to what we could be dealing with.
Oh yeah, no, I don't disagree. I mean, why do you think they're still playing Guild Wars 2? You know what, guys? We can finish it on a nice, happy PMA, and it feels good, man. No, because we've been talking for a while, and I think it is about time to wrap things up here, guys. But you know, it's still a really good game. It's just, I think all of us see that there could be more. Okay, and also there is, my biggest issue with Guild Wars 2 right now, and this is real, by the way, guys. I have a massive problem with the game right now. Do you want me to, like, really drop the bomb?
Hit it.
Okay, I'm gonna ask the chat. Chat, do you want me to, like, drop the fucking hammer right now? Because I'm gonna start the ArenaNet roast video. I will do it. Like, if the chat want it, I will roast the game really fucking hard right now. Okay, are you guys ready? Okay, drop it. Do it. Okay, right now, no. All right, listen up, guys. My biggest issue with Guild Wars 2, by far, okay, like, literally the thing that is preventing it from being a 10-star game, okay, the biggest fucking issue is that no one sent me that fucking outfit yet, okay? What?
Chill. Sell out.
What's
Yeah.
what is this,
God.
guys? What is this? What's going on?
Best MMO community, by
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why, guys? I'm really struggling here. I'm look. Where is it? What's going on, guys? I see this like ERP donation. This guy actually was like, okay, Moonshine TV, he went hard. He sent me like 3k gold. Okay, that was pretty good. Okay, but no outfit. Fuck, guys. Okay, give me the goddamn outfit because I don't want to pay for that shit. But
Moonshine's a good person.
yeah, he's a good egg. Yeah. Oh well, yeah. So help me out with the outfit, guys. Send loads of stuff for the ERP as well because we're going hard, guys. Okay, we're going big. We're going big. All right, guys. I think it's time to wrap things up. It's been so by some fucking miracle, okay, it's been a 3-hour tea time. Not really sure how that we managed to do that. And we started with 2 people, and now we've got 4. Okay, that's some serious value. So it is just about time, okay, to kind of shut the tea time down. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. Let's give a round of applause to all of our wonderful guests here. Let's get some claps in the fucking chat. And Inks, what are you up to these days? I saw you streaming. You're back. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Content.
trying to stream once or twice a week just to sort of get into the rhythm of it. I'm so bad with scheduling. I've always been terrible with scheduling, but follow the Twitter. I know the meme, but if you follow the Twitter, you'll see when I go live, and then you can come watch maybe.
Okay, there you go. So be sure to check out MMO Inks. Let's see, moving on to our surprise guests. Okay, a Lord of PMA, 105 DPS on Renegade. Okay, BDO Mastermind. It's Envy.
Oh my god, the last night was rough. I'm really doing it all right now. Like we're doing raids. I'm learning CM fractals. I'm making too many legendaries at once. Working on vision. Working on the ring. Doing PvP. So I'm literally PvX everything right now.
Ooh. I like that. That's good.
Yeah, having fun.
That's big. That's very high energy, actually. I like that indeed. That's some good shit. So, and then finally, the other surprise guest. Okay, it is Nike DNT. Okay. Probably one of the last of the true toxic players, actually, in Guild Wars 2. The last of the toxics. There's not that many left over, actually. You know, the old school elitists still there holding the fort for us. But I mean, wait, when did you last play Guild Wars 2, actually, Nike?
I mean, I log in every day. I got to get my little chest.
Yeah, the daily chest.
And I'm currently buying funerary incenses, 5 per day, so that I can eventually make the legendary ring.
Okay.
From Wing 7.
I like it.
But I'm gated on that because you can only trade 5 crystalline ingots per day.
There's other ways to get it though. If you want me to help you with that.
Yeah, but I don't want to do bounties.
You're not doing those,
that's
right?
the worst content. Like it just feels so bad doing legendary bounties, and then like even worse are like the events. Oh god! But yeah, I'd rather just trade crystalline ingots 5 per day.
Yep,
but yeah, that's it. And I would like to do like and there's the problem is with raids. There's no one to do this with. I want to do like a progression raid where we clear the wings like with all people wearing rare gear, so we can feel what it would be like to like do the bosses in full, like as if we didn't have the huge gearing advantage that we have in Guild Wars 2. Like I think that would be super fun, but you got to find 9 people who want to do that, and that's impossible at this point.
Ooh, that would be good, actually. I'd like that.
Yeah, if we can make that happen, I would love to do a full rare clear.
Yeah, that would be cool, actually. I'd like that.
The problem with full greens is there are only 2 stats, right? So you can't really make certain builds like even work. Like, and there's no boon duration green, so that's kind of terrible.
Yeah, that would be pretty unfortunate. You just got to get carried.
But like rares with major sigils would be sick, and major rune.
Yeah.
We should do that.
You should do that. That's good. I like that. Yeah. There's also you can have giver. Wait, can you get rare giver gear?
Yeah.
Double rare givers chrono. Nice. That sounds like fun. But anyway, all right, that's it for all those guys. Be sure to check them all out. Links below, guys. Thanks for watching. Okay, if you enjoyed the stream, give it a big follow. Follow, guys. You gotta do that shit. Okay. You gotta give that shit a big follow, subscribe, give me that cash, guys. Hit that sub button. Lowest Animal, okay, Delinernati and Lex who have already done that. That could be you as well, guys. You could be subscribing now, okay? Subscribe. Follow me on Twitter as well. You know, give me those memes. Let's go. Let's get in the mix. Come back and watch every day. I'm also basically PVX. Do some World vs. World stuff. PvP, Raid. It's all here. You can learn everything about the game. And even better, you'll even hear me roast the game on a near daily basis as well. So, you know, that's like a bonus meme. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Okay. You know, you guys have a wonderful evening. And I'll see you guys around. We're going to go host Roy GVG tournament, by the way, guys. Finals, actually. I believe it's...
He's wearing a suit.
Yeah, he's wearing a suit. I believe
Yes.
Angels is actually playing in this as well for one of those teams as well. So that's high energy there. Angels. So let's go see who wins. The finals are underway right now. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Follow, subscribe, okay? And I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night, my friends. See you later.